All right, everybody, welcome out to the Log Room, guys. Craft Beer Show. It is Tuesday, September the 13th, 2022. Jersey Johnny coming at you. And with me, as always, is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai. Say hello, Mr. Samurai.
Happiness is enjoying what you've got, never from what you want. You can't read it because that light's blaring on it, but
There you go.
that's from this fortune cookie.
Well, happy Fortune Cookie Day.
It is fortune cookie day.
And I'm glad you did that first because I really wanted to put this banner up first before we put up this banner.
Oh, it is our 100th show.
It is our 100th show today. Today is our 100th show. We've been doing this 100. This is the 100th time we've done this.
Wow.
100.
And this applies to the thing here is happiness is not about what you got and about happiness about what you got, not what you want. You've got us.
We've got us.
So that's happy. So you should be happy.
I'm happy.
Are you happy? You all might want something else, but you got us.
This
be happy.
You got us. Be happy with us. And you know what? You know what? You have a fortune cookie. I just want to say happy 100th show, Dave.
Thank you, John. Happy 100th show to you too.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. It's been a wonderful 100 shows, and I look forward to the next 100 and even another 100 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 beyond that.
Oh, we've had 2, 3, or 5 shows, or 2 or 300, 500 shows.
2 or 3 or 4 or 500 shows beyond that.
Like 2, 3, 4, 5 shows. I think we can manage that.
No, we can handle that. Yeah.
I think we can handle that one.
Well, anyway, happy 100th show.
Yeah. And
we got a lot.
Happy 100th show to everyone who's been watching us from the beginning.
From the beginning, yeah. If you've been watching from the beginning, you've seen some very interesting things. All right.
We apologize for most.
You've seen a few boring things. We will admit you've seen a few boring
and
things.
We apologize for those as well.
Yeah, but you've seen a bunch of really cool shit too. So
yeah, we've had some fun. We've had some great people on the show.
Absolutely.
Some of our favorite people.
Mm-hmm.
Have we ever had some of our not favorite people on the show? No,
I don't. Well, we don't have. We don't have that many not favorite people. You know, I mean, between you and I,
we really don't play favorites.
We don't play favorites, not at all. We love everyone. We're equal opportunity.
Instigators.
There you go. That's a good word. There you go. Well. Anyway, in addition to it, happy Fortune Cookie Day.
Yes. Well,
right.
the thing is, fortune cookies. They're kind of bland.
So you want something with a little more character to it, so to speak.
Kind
of like yourself. Character.
Yes, that man suffers from an excess of character. No, it was personality, wasn't it? That man suffers from an excess of personality. That was Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park, yes.
Said about Goldblum's character. Anyway.
Excessive personality or excessive personalities.
No, that's another movie entirely.
That's another movie entirely. So.
No, but it's also International Chocolate Day, John.
Happy International Chocolate Day.
So I'm starting with a Ferrero Rocher.
Ferrero Rocher.
Rocher.
Yeah, we don't say the R. It's French. It's Frenchum. It's Belgish. Belgish.
We need a producer. We need a producer to look this up for us.
We do need a producer to look. I don't know. I just,
what? Our producers have not been doing their jobs as of late. You're keeping one way too busy.
I'm keeping one way too busy. I
like
think
brewing beer for all that stuff.
I think he and I keep each other equally busy. So, but you're right though. We do need a producer. We do need a producer to check that out. Look that up for us, if you will.
It'd be nice.
It would be nice. So
that way we don't have to do it ourselves.
No, we don't have to do it ourselves. It just makes things so much easier.
Otherwise, if you're watching the show and we're doing like this, looking down, it's
right. Don't we can talk. We can talk.
Ferrero Rocher is Italian.
It is Italian. Ferrero Rocher is Italian. It's got a French word. Rocher.
Yeah, but I'm guessing that
Ferraro. See, that's the thing. Ferraro is Italian.
Yeah.
Rocher with an R at the end of that, to me, screams French.
If it was Italian, it'd be pronounced Roker, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to ask Al.
I'm thinking it would be Roker.
I'll have to ask Al.
You do that when you see him next.
I've met Al before. He's a good guy.
Al Roker. I thought you were talking about Al Gattulo. I'm like,
Oh, no, well, I've met him too before.
I thought you meant like one of your favorite Italians.
Oh, no. Of course he's one of my favorite Italians. Are you kidding me? Oh, I'm Italian too. My last name doesn't scream it, though. That's all.
No, your last name screams. Give me a pretzel and a beer.
Exactly.
And a bratwurst.
And a brat.
Which you can hear from John on a regular basis.
Which you can hear from me on a regular basis. And that's probably the first food that I'm going to be eating while we wait for our look. We have a bunch of surprises for you today. We got a bunch of guests coming on, in and out. But while we wait for that, I'll just let you know in a couple of weeks I'll actually be in the Burg of Pits.
The Burg of Pits.
The Burg of Pits.
Drinking some beer, watching some football.
And baseball.
Making aggravating Jets by wearing a Steelers jersey rather than a Jets jersey.
While she's watching the Jets, right, exactly.
Yep.
However, the very first food that I believe scheduled to eat in Pittsburgh when we roll into town right around noon on that Saturday is we're going to go to Hofbrau, and I'm going to have Brat's pretzel and
there you go.
Some Hofbrau.
Hofbrau. So I'm going to open up another international chocolate here. This is from Becky. I know these are Italian because these came from. So I work in the building with Italy as the ground floor.
Yes.
Right near Flatiron.
Yep.
It's so dangerous having them down there. They got gelato. Getting the cappuccino in the morning. It's pretty good.
That's cool.
Looked a lot better than it tasted, but. Now you got a full space because my mouth is full of chocolate.
Your mouth is full of chocolate. So and it's full of chocolate because it is International Chocolate Day.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just gearing up and we're getting things ready. We got some things for you going on. So I think we're all set. While you drink that, I really want to pour a beer, but I think we should get a guest on first. What do you think? Let's get this party started and get going with a guest. What do you think?
Huh? Oh, you're talking to me.
No, I was just talking to myself, actually.
Oh, I thought we had a guest on already.
No, we don't have a guest.
Oh, we should bring one on.
We should bring a guest on, right? We should get that we should get that started, and then we can crack a beer and get this party started, as they say.
I've already cracked a beer.
I figured.
I was so jealous of your Coastal Brew Works
hat and shirt.
I was going to go with Regalia.
Regalia.
All
right.
Because as anybody's been watching the show, we probably have one new 75-cent word every day on the show. So it's
this week it's Regalia.
This week it is Regalia.
All right. Well, speaking of
this
Regalia,
week's show brought to you by the word Regalia.
Regalia. This week's show brought to you by the number one.
Not Vidalia onions.
There you go. Not Vidalia. Regalia.
Regalia.
All right. Well, let's get a guest on. You asked for a producer. You got a producer. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. The first guest for the evening, Mr. Matthew Potensky. Say hello, Matt.
Hey, guys. Like your shirt. You're on the Regalia bandwagon.
Yeah, I know a guy. He's got a similar tailor. So
yeah.
So, by the way, as producer, you're fired.
Nice.
We got to fire both.
No. Look. No, let's keep them. But let's cut their pay in half.
Again.
Yeah. What are you drinking?
He's drinking something from the source.
Azard. It's a Belgian pale.
There you go.
You're drinking a Belgian beer?
Well, I was going to say I'm feeling in a festive mood, and I'm going to drink something that I like. So I'm drinking a Belgian beer.
How about it? There you go. Just want to point out the fact that Matt has been on the show 12 times prior to tonight. This is his 13th appearance on the show.
Number 13. Outstanding.
Yeah. Ooh. There you go. Either as a guest or a co-host.
Yeah.
It's about even on that front. But yeah, there you go. 12 times. So this is your 13th appearance on the show.
It would have been a lot more co-hosting if I could afford to travel more.
Okay. And I also would like to bestow upon you the honor of the fact that you are the most, other than Dave and I, have appeared the most on the show.
Nice.
Yeah. Cheers to that.
So cheers to that. I have to open up my beer.
We got to wait for him for the cheers.
Happy 100th episode.
100th?
100th.
Yeah.
I like that. 100th.
The 100th episode. I am going to, I figured for the occasion, since I'm having my first beer right now, with you on the show, Matt, I figured I would have. You're the first guest on the show. I figured I'd have our first beer.
Right.
As
There
well.
you go.
There you go. So,
There you go.
I've heard of that one.
I've heard that.
So will our next show be our 101st?
Yeah.
100th and one. 100th and one.
101st. I like 101st.
101st? Okay, fine. Fair enough. 101st. Get my
So Matt's first time on the show.
Matt's first time on the show
was it with the one with?
Was it with Sergio?
No.
No, I thought it was with
your
Sergio.
first. No, Matt was our third guest ever on the show. Our first guest on the show, as we all know, is somebody that we can't say his name, but
No, we can't say his name 3 times, otherwise he appears. So you can say Augie Carton now.
and then we can say it once in about like a half an hour, and then
Maybe we'll say it a
we'll
third
say
time.
it a third time later on in the show. So
See what happens.
right. Our second guest on the show was Chuck Aaron. Matt was our third guest ever on the show, and that goes back to December 9th, 2020. That was the first show he was on. As you recall, we started guest right before Thanksgiving with Augie.
Yep.
Oh damn it, that's the second time.
No, you didn't say the full name.
That's true. On right before Thanksgiving in 2020, the shows from September then when we started almost 2 years ago through then were just Dave and I. There was nobody else. So anyway, cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Salute. Bon chance. Slancha. Prost. Come by.
That's a really good beer.
Yes, I'm fond of that one.
As am I.
Got to find more of them.
Yeah.
Right now, I only have awkward.
Well, they're around.
In the fridge. This thing is.
Not a bad one to have, though.
That's not a bad one to have in the fridge.
No, it's not.
So, all right. So, Matt, I got to ask you, what was your favorite that you can recall? Anyway, Log Room Guys moment. Whether it was a show that you were involved in or even just when you were watching and commenting in or playing producer role or whatever it was.
That's a tough one. I'm trying to think. I really enjoyed having the guys from Strong Rope on.
That was good.
Especially after we went there and got to do a brew with them.
Yep.
I like, their whole philosophy of using New York ingredients. And, it's interesting because they're kind of going a little bit against the popular trend of using all these juicy, citrusy hops and all that, because you're not growing a lot of that in New York.
No.
But they're making really, really solid beer, and the beer was delicious when we went there. And
oh, totally, yeah, absolutely.
And it's amazing that as small a brew house as they have, in a sense, how much space they have, and they have multiple locations and everything else, and just more illustrative of how you can do cool stuff in New York and not as much in New Jersey. But a reminder. But hopefully one day we can do some cool stuff like they're doing.
Yeah, I agree, and we'll definitely have them out to collab with us too. That'd be awesome. Cool. Yeah, I agree with you. That was a fun show. It was a fun day out there. That's for sure. And it was a fun show. And Dave was kind of involved in that day, but after we left Strong Rope, of course.
Yes, it turned into even more fun afterwards.
Fun, very fun evening. So anyway, but cool.
Despite some of the upset of that evening.
Yes, yeah. I mean, that was all I have to do to bring back the upset of that evening is put this picture up. That's it right there.
There it is. That
There
is,
it is.
Fight and Dive will be coming in tomorrow bar. There was that, and then there was also the stomach upset of the evening.
Oh yeah. Well, silly me. I had to be. I had to do the right thing, so to speak. So, but
Yeah,
next time, just get a burger. Just get a burger.
Fireworks.
Just get a burger and say a Hail Mary.
Fireworks just over
No.
just over the East River Bridge. So.
All right.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so on that, in that respect, I'm gonna bring this up. Matt, what do you have the most? You were involved in the most top threes. All right. I'll just rattle off a couple. I mean, you were the guest for your first show, obviously. You were on with Sergio. You were on the producer's show with Brian. You were on with when Tim Pewitt was the guest from What Ticket. You were on, of course, at when we did the beer dinner last year at Cloverleaf. You were on our New Year's Eve show when we did the big beers and everything else.
Yeah.
The Coastal Brewworks announcement show when you and I did the show from
Cloverleaf.
No. When we did
the announcement show.
The announcement show when we did the show from Single Cut up in upstate New York. You were on with the you were the guest host with you were the co-host with when Nick Jorlee was on, when Doug Phillips was on, when Alex and Jason from Strong Rope were on. Of course, the Cloverleaf launch show, and then of course when we had Anthony Jennings from Arbiter on when Dave was tooling around Wyoming.
Yes.
Yeah. But in any event, you've been involved in a bunch of really good top threes. Dogfish Head, Mead Moments, Belgian beers from Belgium, German styles we enjoy in fall, Cloverleaf Moments, big beers, top 3 breweries we visited last year. That was part of that one. Portland, Maine beers, California beers, wild ales, brown ales not brewed by Strong Rope, and Minneapolis beers not brewed by Arbiter. Anyway, which one of those was your favorite? If I have to, I mean, I could probably tell you myself what it was, but
yeah, I mean, this is going to come as a huge surprise to absolutely nobody, but my favorite Belgian beers from,
of course,
because that's, to me, that's still the Disneyland of beer.
Mm-hmm.
They do some things that just you don't get anywhere else in the world.
Like pepper.
And they do it a lot better than anyone else who tries to do it anywhere else in the world. Anyway.
Mustard seed beer.
Yeah,
exactly. Look, I've had a great time over these last 100 shows, and I'm looking forward to the next 100 and on from there. But in any event, Dave, how do you feel about it? You're just sitting there drinking.
I'm just sitting here drinking. I'm just enjoying it. I thought we're supposed to still be working, aren't we? We're supposed to
a little bit. It's just a hangout, right? That's it.
We're just hanging out with our friends here.
It's going to be funny in the future when he's in like the mini podcast studio, and I'm just going to be like waving at him with goggles on from the back, like being janitor in charge.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Like that. So
are you building a studio in the brewery?
Sure.
I'm not against it.
No, I'm not. No, we'll do all the podcasts from there. That'd be fine.
There we go.
Obviously not the production area, but
I'll have to find a
whatever room it's in.
I'll have to find a remote only job and move closer.
There you go. That's all. That'll work.
Yeah, that'll work.
Works for me. Cool.
Get back to pork roll rather than Taylor ham.
Gotcha. What's exactly right. You can get back to pork roll. I got you. For a second, I was like, "What are you talking about? Are you hungry?" I just realized what you meant by that.
The geographic difference.
Geographic location. Yeah. So what's on the horizon for you, Matt?
Well, I got this tiny little project that I've been working on.
What is that?
It's a brewery.
All right.
You might have heard of it or be wearing their regalia right now.
I've heard rumblings.
Yeah. So we are looking at property in a town in Monmouth County, and hope to get a bunch of stuff going pretty soon, and hopefully open by Memorial Day next year. So
that would be the key weekend to have the doors open by.
That would be, yes, it would.
So that's the goal. That's the goal here. So
and they got to put up along all the main corridors, starting on the Parkway, then down 35, and so many things. All those like blow up wavy guys.
And actually,
beer this way.
Speaking of Monmouth County,
I thought he was going to say, speaking of blow up wavy guys. I thought he was going to say.
No.
That would be cool on like a wave,
Yeah. Right.
Get a couple of them. They do them in sync, so they wave.
Yeah.
There you go.
But speaking of Monmouth County, we'll give a quick little shout out to Wild Air Beer Works.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Fresh was on the show a little while ago, and Bert and Nick from Last Wave are two of the owners, and it's in the old Dark City space. And we stopped by there, and the beer was excellent. They're going with like a very easy drinking, like light lager, light sour kind of lineup, and I think they're going to do really well there. But just since you mentioned me being on the show with Fresh, I think it was cool to So there's a lot of good stuff happening in Monmouth County, and hopefully we just keep that kind of momentum rolling and
keep it rolling. Yeah, there's a couple. There's a couple others in the works too. So I mean, Monmouth County right now has the most breweries in any one county in the state, and it keeps.
And some may argue the best breweries in the state.
Yeah, and it's definitely going to be a beer destination, and I know there's the one good thing that the state was trying to do was these beer trails.
Yeah.
So I think that being somewhat involved in that and having we're a very natural place for beer tourism. Then people can go and stop at multiple breweries within 15-20 minutes of each other, and all through Monmouth County. So being kind of right in the middle, right in the thick of that is going to be pretty good too.
Agreed, 100%.
Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll quit my day job and just start a Monmouth County beer bus tour.
Do the brew bus.
Do the brew bus thing.
You'll clean up.
No, I don't clean up very well, as you can tell. It's just not.
There you go. Yeah, you clean up fine. All right. Hey, do you want to hang around with the other guests, or do you want to bail?
For a little while, yeah. I got to get going, maybe in half an hour-ish or so.
Hang around with Tom. That'll be interesting to get.
That's our next one.
Yeah, you've never really interacted with Tom, so that could be interesting. So let's do that. So
is he ready to go?
I think he is ready to go.
Tom's always ready to go, ain't he?
Tom is always ready to go. So anyway, yeah. So hang around with Tom. That'll be good, and then we'll go from there. Finish that up. I got to. On that note, while we're talking about that, we're waiting for Tom. You mentioned Wild Air, and absolutely kudos to them, and congratulations on their opening. But Twin Lights opened their tap room.
Twin Lights also opened. I have not been to their new spot yet.
I stopped over there last Sunday the day before Labor Day. We just opened in Boston, and saw Will and the guys, and had a couple beers. It was good. They really did the spot up nice. It's obviously looks exactly the same as Jug Handle looked, right? But the layout of it, but it was definitely had their touch to it. So,
cool.
Does it still have the brewery tour on the wall? No, they took the brewery tour off the wall.
It does not. No, they have a big, huge fish tank with twin lights in behind it. A couple TVs that are only used to play the menu and specific things that are allowed. No. If anybody's listening,
they're not listening. They don't care.
But in any event, no, it was good. It was good stuff. And I mean, the same with Wild Air, right? Wild Air's in the old Dark City spot. If you were at Dark City a lot, you could tell it's the same space. But what they did in there is just completely different from.
They keep all that wood.
Yeah, they got rid of a bunch of it. They actually have an old.
They drove a van in there.
Drove a van in there, a VW van. They flatten the tires, and it's like you can actually sit in it. There's a table in it.
Oh, kind of like at Burial. Burial's got the van parked outside, but the thing's just stickered to death.
Exactly.
Remember, I showed you there's a Bolero Snicker.
There's a Bolero Snicker.
There's a Bolero Snicker.
There's a Bolero Stort Snicker. Yes.
Yeah. But there's a sticker in that van.
Dyslexia can be cured.
Yes. No, it can't.
Yeah.
Coetnant. But So the van, it's there intentional, like the car that wound up in Highline Brewing.
Right.
You remember that?
Yep, I remember.
Yeah. The car drove right into their brewery.
Yep.
And I haven't heard if they ever reopened.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to find out. And get back on that. But on that note, let's bring on our next guest.
Speaking of a Highline.
Speaking of a higher line. Let's welcome Mr. Tom Mulvihill to the show. Welcome, Tom. How are you, sir?
Who'd you say was hi?
Who said Highline?
Oh, hi.
Tom has been on the show 8 times. This is his 9th appearance on the show. Tom is our Alec Baldwin, which means if a guest cancels at the last minute, it's a Tom Mulvihill show.
It doesn't mean he's going to shoot you.
I know it doesn't. So, Tom, give us.
Good to see you in person. How you doing, man?
Talking to you, Matt.
How's it going?
Same show with you, man.
Yeah.
There you go. Tom, give us your tagline. Go for it.
I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, beer evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all around good guy.
Good guy. There you
Yeah,
go.
he's a good
All
guy.
right. There you go.
That never gets tiring.
Never
That
gets
never
tiring.
gets old, does it? That's what my wife says. Boy, that never gets old, does it, dear?
Not at all. So, cheers to you, Tom. Thanks for coming on with us today on our 100th show. Cheers.
Thanks, guys. I'm
Water
running
today.
down a little bit. I'm only drinking water. I had a hell of a work day. So when I got
I thought you were going to say I had a hell of a weekend.
I had a work day, it was brutal today. They're trying to kill an old man. So when I got home, I had to decide whether to have a beer or a muscle relaxer. And I opted for muscle relaxers.
You know, I've heard if you do both, it doubles the pleasure.
Does it?
Double pleasure, double the fun.
I'm kidding. That's a
Don't
joke.
do that. Please
Don't do that. No. That was a complete joke. Anyway, Tom, I'll ask you what we asked Matt before. What was your, and I know there's been so many because you've been on the show so many times. What was that you can remember? What was your favorite Log Room Guys moment, on the show? Whether it was a show that you were on or just one that you were watching and commented in or whatever, your favorite Log Room Guys.
Well, I think it'd have to be the first time I was on with you guys when we all got so hammered that Samurai passed out during the episode.
I knew that was going to be mentioned sometime today. I didn't pass out. I just took a nap.
Just took a little snooze. He took a little snooze. There you go. I'd have to concur with you that was definitely a good one.
I was resting my eyes.
There you go.
How much did we drink that episode? I mean,
A lot.
A lot.
Goodness.
I think
We
you
had
and
like
I both
three-
had a triple.
I guess some people would say enough.
Enough.
Definitely
Yeah,
enough.
that too.
I had to go to work the next morning, walk into the office, smile, do my whole usual thing. Hey, guys, how you doing? Good to see you. And I walked down to the basement area of my warehouse where I work and put my head down on the table and, oh, my God, I think I'm going to die.
At least you made it to work the next day.
Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. Today hurts.
There you go.
And at least you made it into work that day. That was the first day I ever called in due to a hangover.
There you go. And have you called in since then?
Nope.
So then it was the only day.
It's still the only
ever
day that I've done
called
it.
in, right? Got a comment here from Doug Smith. He said, that was the best, Tom.
Thanks, Doug. I appreciate it, man.
That was definitely a good day.
A lot of fun, man.
There you go. Tom, you've been involved in, like I said, 8 shows. This is your 9th. We were talking about top 3 lists. I'll read you the top 3 lists that you've been involved in. They've been craft beers that are no longer brewed.
Yeah.
Spring styles, spring beers, barrel-aged stouts, pumpkin beers, non-beer holiday libations,
Okay.
movie quotes that we slip into conversations. One of the
Oh, I like
non-beer
that.
lists.
That was a lot of fun, yeah.
Yeah. Top.
I want someone I don't care who tell me what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Favorite beers of
Little China.
exactly.
Jack Burton.
Favorite beers of all times and favorite Missouri breweries. So of those, and I think I can guess now that you
we
said
already
that.
know.
We already know. What was your favorite of those? Was it the movie closely slip in a conversation?
Well, yeah, that was in the Missouri Brew, but that was a lot of fun because it was just kind of, off a little bit. We all got to have a little fun.
Right. That's good. The Missouri breweries, of course, obviously near and dear to your heart. Missouri breweries.
I'm a big proponent of drinking local, so.
Absolutely. And as everybody should be, have the good stuff that you can get that comes in, whether it's through a friend, they bring it back from a trip, you get it from Tavor or anybody else. Somebody hooks you up with it. But other than that, drink the local stuff.
When you look at what we drink on the show, it's primarily Jersey beers.
Right.
Occasionally something from just outside state, or if John or I go away, we come back with stuff. Sometimes we get it into each other's hands. Most often not, we don't anymore.
My next beer on the show might resemble one of those.
Ah, yes. That was one of my trips. That was the trip down to Asheville.
No, it was.
I like the shirt.
Or was it the Long Island one?
It was Long Island.
I like the shirt, Johnny.
Thank you very much.
Give me one of those.
I got to get you one of these. Yes.
Do you like my glass?
I thought that's what that was too, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
See, there's
that shirt, my hat.
shirt, and John's shirt.
There you go.
Matt, send me that one. We're probably the same size.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't have a shirt yet.
That's a major oversight. You need some regalia.
You need some of your own regalia, absolutely.
Hey, I did order Beer Samurai die cut stickers.
Right. I don't know if I'm getting off topic a little bit, but how soon are you guys to having an actual space to open up?
Soon. There you
You
go.
got
Those
one
are
of these, Dave?
I've got a few of those, and
Hey, I need some of those. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got the coastal stickers now, so we can get those out to you.
but you need to get that wave die cut.
I can put some in my bar
Yeah, we
area.
need the wave die cut for sure.
the die cut wave is on order as we speak. So,
And where have I've already stuck that sticker in a few places, legal places, and
legal, places.
and
So
with
you're looking at about what, spring next year, somewhere in that.
We're hoping to be open and operating by Memorial Day weekend next year.
Oh, well, okay. I'll look forward to that. All right.
actually one of your stickers is now in this brewery.
3 threes. Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Oh,
I put one up in 3 threes, and the other one was
Chimney Rustic, vinyl.
No.
Well, you were down there. That's why I guess.
Yeah, it was something road begins with a T.
Begins with a T.
Two-ton?
No. It was down South Jersey, outside of Trenton.
Outside of Trenton.
Well, north. Yeah, outside.
North.
Not too far from Hamilton, actually.
Oh. No, the closest brewery to Hamilton and Trenton would be Old Heights.
Well, I mean, that's not a
No. It's
Oh, we got to know. We need to know.
I'm looking it up. I'll find it.
By the way, 3 threes. Matt and I'll go visit actually that sticker when we're down in Hamilton on October 14th and 15th.
I was going to put one up in mechanical, but you've done that already.
Yes,
Yep.
we already took care of that.
I particularly like the one we put in Human Robot because we put it basically between alt endings and last wave, which geographically is basically where the brewery's going to be.
We will be geographically located between all endings and
that was
last wave.
kind of actually really cool. You're like, hey, that really works.
Works
okay.
out.
So you've already got your location then, right?
More or less.
More or less. Okay.
More or less. We'll leave it at that.
There still needs to be.
I'm going to quit asking questions. All right. I can't help it though.
Some things need to be finalized, but yeah. So
Yeah,
I guess like I said,
we're not doing like an actual announcement till paperwork is fully signed and we have.
I got you. Yeah. I had a friend recently kind of go through that. He had a brewery at I don't know, about an hour and a half from here, but he was going to open up a larger location in Bentonville, Arkansas. But they had so many issues with the building permits in that area that it fell through, and he thought it was a done deal. So he kind of put all that eggs in that basket. It fell through. So now he's got something going in Kansas City. So I'll let you know when that happens too. I don't want to give too much away, but he's one of the best brewers in the state.
Nice.
Very nice.
I figured it out. It's Tyndall Road Brewing. They're in Gordon now.
Tyndall Road. Yes.
And
How
they
long-
put you right next to. They used to be something else. Like what they used to be called.
Common sense.
Common Sense Brewing.
Oh, okay.
And they put your sticker right next to Kane.
There you go. Well, technically, we're kind of close.
You're kind of close.
Yeah, ish. I neglected to put Doug's other comment up before. I just want to say Tom's beer and whiskey pairings are legendary. Yes, they certainly are. They certainly
Thanks,
are.
Doug. I appreciate that.
It's his first time on the show. It's his first time on the show. They're downright lethal.
And they're legendary on that respect because of the first show. Yes, and I still need some of that. I have not found a bottle of that yet. So
I still think they have some up here. So
they still do.
well, I have that, or I have the
Yes.
Basil Hayden's Dark Rye is pretty solid.
Oh, I haven't had the dark rye. How is that?
It's really good. It's been my go-to recently.
Nice. I'll have to try that one. Yeah.
I'm a big rye fan, but that's
So, man, it's not anywhere near your neck of the woods, but if you ever get a friend that can get it to you, there's a distillery out of Lenexa, Kansas called Union Horse, and they do a reunion rye. It's 93 proof, but they do a cask version of that is just beyond gorgeous. So if you can ever get some Union Horse, pick it up. It is beautiful.
Nice.
I've been meaning to do this, Tom. Happy Bourbon Heritage Month.
Is that what it is?
It is Bourbon Heritage Month. Yes, all month.
Hell.
So
It is Bourbon Heritage Month. Yes,
It
you're
is.
right, it is.
Heritage Month. Okay, well, I need to start drinking some bourbon this month. Then.
yeah, gotta get some bourbon down.
I need to put this up really quick because last Saturday I was at a gathering. Let's say this past Saturday, and they had they had a bottle of this bourbon, and I had it. And it was pretty good. It wasn't the best bourbon I've ever had, but it was pretty. It was pretty damn good. And I'm just gonna put the picture of it up here. Hold on.
Well, you throw that up. I'm gonna go grab my latest bottle. Show Tom. Hold on.
There you go. Well, hold on. You want to see this, or maybe he doesn't want to see this. Okay. There you go. This is the bottle I was drinking on Saturday. Okay, right there. Okay. So I'll leave it up for Dave to look at. There you go.
That's quite a name.
Yep. And I got to tell you, I was enjoying myself while I was drinking it, and I actually
you enjoying putting some chicken cock in your mouth.
This is what I said. I went like this. I was like, wow, that's pretty good chicken cock. I've never had chicken cock before.
I mean, isn't that kind of redundant?
It depends on how you look at it.
Yeah. Could be.
So anyway, yeah, so chicken cock. Look for it in your local shelves. Yeah.
No, I
There
think
you go.
Tom, I told you about this one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Smoke
Wagon, yeah.
I've been looking for that one. I can't find it in my neck of the woods.
I've had a bunch of Smoke Wagon recently. It's been really good.
Yeah, smoke
This
wagon.
is-
I had it.
yeah,
I had
this-
it down with John Kapanik down at Spellbound one day. We were in the back, and not in the tap room, in the back, private party, not even party, private gathering of 3 people, and somebody brought it, and I tasted it.
There was an event. Was it an event? Did it
No, it
count
was
as
not an event. It was not an event. The brewery wasn't even open. It was out of somebody's private. Yeah, doesn't count. So, anyway.
Well, this is the uncut, unfiltered version.
Oh.
I gotta say this was.
But I love uncut, unfiltered.
Oh, it's good because it's got all that caramel to it. It's a little touch of sweetness, but it's backed off entirely by a little bit of like ashtray at the end of it. Right? A little bit of tobacco.
Proof on that, Dave.
This one's nothing to mess around with, if I remember correctly. Oh no, yeah, this is it's 56.32% alcohol.
112, yeah.
112, 113. Yeah.
Yeah, 110 and a half, 112 and a half. But it's a nice bottle. I love the bottle itself.
Yeah. It's a really good bourbon.
But this thing is delicious. So Las Vegas making some good bourbon.
There you go. All right. Yeah. So I'm just like I said, I'm really happy with. Hold on here. Need to send that out. Really happy with the way this 100th episode is unfolding.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate all you guys have done. I mean, everybody that any friends I have that have seen the show, I only say good things. You guys are doing one of the best beer shows out there. There's a lot of spots out there doing shows, me being one of them. But you guys do it.
But we love your show. We love
your show.
show.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I don't think there's a Friday that goes by where either one of us doesn't jump on at some point. So.
Yeah. Got to go say hi to Tom.
Absolutely. One more thing I'll throw up from Doug here before we let Tom go, and that is, have any of you guys had Founder's Highball Drifter, bourbon barrel aged ale with orange peel and cherry? You'd swear you were drinking an old fashioned. I have not.
No, I have not. What's interesting?
I had last year's version of. A friend had brought it over when we shared a few bottles, and he's right. It does taste just like an old fashioned. He's not kidding.
I told John over this weekend I was at Area 2, which is Two Roads' experimental brewery.
Yep.
And had a whiskey sour beer. And I got a bottle of it for a bottle share, so we've got to get a bottle share together so we can crack that open. But
we'll definitely have to get a bottle share together, and somehow we'll have to figure out a way for Tom to get to the bottle share.
Yes.
Okay, we'll figure out the logistics.
And then figure out how to survive that bottle share.
I think if I can hop a freight train or something.
There you go.
You can go
write a book about it on your way back. You can,
go the hobo route.
Go the hobo route.
Or relive my hobo years.
So there you go. Somebody talking?
Just you. You.
I heard talking in the background.
Yeah, I heard a woman talking.
Oh, my wife just answered the phone.
Oh,
there we go.
I thought I thought you were,
Her daughter's ringtone is kind of funky. So.
I thought she was saying something to you that you were gonna, like you were.
Oh, actually, Matt was distracted. I thought
the phone, Mom, pick up the phone.
Oh, I thought it was Matt looked distracted. I thought he was watching porn.
Now what are you drinking? I'm trying to see what you're drinking.
Well, I'm drinking a Belgian pale ale from Source Brewing here in New Jersey.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yep.
They do good stuff.
That's not the same pale ale they did earlier this year that we, or maybe it was last
Yeah,
year.
this is an older release. I just had it in the fridge, tucked away.
I don't think
I didn't mean it was like the same one that they released. I just meant maybe they did it again. I didn't think it was the same one that they had released, because they did a few of them. I don't even know if it was the same one we did get, but yeah, they do it up pretty good there. I tried to Jess last week. They released their pumpkin spice latte.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Jess wanted me to get her a 4-pack, so I went on at 9:01, and it was gone. So I don't know if they only had like 4 cases available or what, but
You think you'd know somebody?
I might need to make a call.
Yeah, Matt.
But we'll see. But in any event, yeah, this was great. Tom, I want to thank you for always being available,
Always.
and coming on whenever, in a pinch, being our Alec Baldwin.
Come on, bench for any time, guys.
And come on and please, it doesn't matter whether it's a scheduled show or a non-scheduled show, or even when Dave and I pop on your show on a Friday. It's always fun. It's always a great time. And it's as if, I don't honestly, and if anybody has watched shows that you've been on, they know this is true. It's like a party that you don't want to end. It just, it just keeps going. Like, oh, we got to stop now? What? That kind of a thing. So
yeah, we approach 2-hour shows every time Tom's on.
The first time we ever went over 2 hours was with Tom.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's because I talk a lot.
You talk
But it's
a
still
lot.
fun.
Yeah. Well, you talk a lot, but you know what? Dave and I have been known to occasionally talk a lot too.
Yeah, to jibber jabber.
Yeah.
And we were having a lot of fun making fun of Dave sleeping. So that was
Well, we'll have to try to recreate that on the show.
Exactly.
I was resting my eyes.
He was inspecting the inside of his eyelids. That's what he was doing. So anyway, like I said,
congratulations on the show. You guys are one of the best out there. Good to see you. Matt, keep brewing that good beer, man.
Cheers, man. Will do. You're a good guy.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Have a good
Cheers,
one, guys.
Tom.
You got it, Tom. Thanks. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, take it easy.
Take care.
I've moved on to my second beer.
Yeah, I'm gonna pour my second beer right now.
Well, I'm thinking, since it's kind of in a sense, an anniversary for us, even though it's a number thing, our anniversary is actually coming up. But we're nowhere near 24 years like this beer is.
No, we're not.
So I told you I'd pull out some heavy guns tonight, and
I can't believe you're drinking that on the show. I have one of those downstairs. I actually have at the moment, I'm working on a 6-year vertical of those beers.
oof. Well, I figured,
and on one show, I'm going to do them all.
Oh, and guess who'll be resting their eyes on that show?
And you will be taking a nap. So.
Well, this sucker is 11.3. So with this one, and what I've got lined up.
No, this sucker's electrical. But I need a chain reaction to generate the 1.21 gigawatts of electricity.
Okay, Professor. So what's your second one there, Johnny?
My second one is from you. Thank you very much. Root and Branch. Yeah. Eyes Without a Face. And I've had the beer before with the two of you, the three of us.
Yep.
What should we call it? At a specific canning day. I think we were canning something that day.
Yeah, you were canning a
Hefeweizen.
Yep. We were canning a specific Hefeweizen.
Definitely beer.
Mm-hmm. We were canning beer. We were definitely canning beer. Yeah,
we're canning beer.
And
moving pallets around, and
oh yeah, it was a fun day.
And drinking some beer. There was some human robot on tap at the time.
Mm-hmm. You know what, Matt? We got to do a rye version of this IPA and call it Rise Without a Face. There you go. No.
I got nothing for that.
No. I just had to say it. Cheers.
Cheers. It's been a while since my silver mug's been out.
It has been.
Still got to get this thing personalized.
This beer's pretty damn good.
That's really good.
And what's
the thing is,
I'm drinking a whole thing by myself here. What is this?
Yeah, because the first time you had it, you guys were already a few beers in, so I'm not.
We
sure
were a few beers in, and we split it. There's no ABV on this can.
No,
not at all. Zero ABV.
They do have a very minimalist label. It's
yeah.
I'm not exactly sure how you can't. How they? Yeah, we said that I think that day when we were looking at the label. I'm like, I couldn't find any ABV on it.
There's no ABV on this at all. Here. There's no ABV at all on this can.
That's weird.
I'm sure it's on Untapped.
It's 6.5% and it's 25 IBUs. Just in case you were interested.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, I got to too. That's what you were saying.
Wait, let me check my Untapped and see if it says the same thing. Hold on.
My Untapped does this thing now that when I go to search something, when I put it in and do the search, then it locks up. I've got to back up and do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Every time. I don't know if I got to delete the app, reload it. I've tried deleting all the data, and doing force stop in the thing, and I can't get it.
Mine still works.
It still works.
Amazingly.
Mine drives me crazy.
There's a lot of data backed up in there.
Yeah, maybe I've got too many friggin' photos uploaded. I don't know.
Gosh.
I doubt you have more than me.
This is true. We are.
I don't know. I've got one for almost every one I put up. And how many friggin' check-ins do I have?
That does make sense. I should go through my
camera
roll on my phone and just get rid of every beer picture that I've checked in on Untapped, because it makes no sense to keep them. Yeah. What do I need the picture for?
Yeah,
I took the picture to put up on Untapped. After I put up on Untapped, why do I need the picture?
You probably save about 3 gig of memory right there.
Yeah, I mean it's insane. I mean I do have a 256 gig.
Yeah, memory
shape. So, but
no, I've got So yeah,
it's like a daunting task at this point, and when you look at that many pictures on a phone, I'm just like, screw that. I don't have time for that.
Yeah. You go through, you do it little by little. You don't do it in one sitting, right? You do it over the course of a couple months. You get rid of whatever you try to get rid of. I mean, I'll keep pictures. Like if I took pictures of beer that I had on vacations and stuff like that, and there's scenery or background or whatever in the picture, I'll keep that. But just a random picture, like the pictures that I take every Wednesday night here that I'm going to check into. Why am I keeping that picture, right?
The obligatory picture.
Exactly.
No,
the obligatory picture.
I put a picture up for almost every check-in, and I've got 9,200 check-ins on here.
Right.
So that's a lot of freaking.
That's a lot of pictures. Just so you're aware, our next guest
has got a lot of pictures as well.
Well, he's got a lot of pictures. That's for sure.
I'm going to eat on beer.
There you go.
Are you calling our next guest a knob?
Our next guest actually had to download a new browser just to come on, so let's bring him on right now. Okay, welcome to the show, Mr. Tony Akran Drury. Welcome, Tony.
Oh, Tony got laid.
Hey, Tony got laid.
Wait a second. Where's your hair?
Oh, it's here.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
You got me scared there a minute that you cut your hair.
Hot, man.
There you go. Tony, you've been on the show 3 times. This is your 4th appearance on the show. Meet Matt. I don't know if you know of Matt, but you never met Matt. But there's Matt right there. He's
I do know of Matt.
There you go.
Oh my God. Okay, your hat. What's the hat?
Oh, that's from the Big D Speed Shop in Dallas, Texas.
That is very cool because I'm pretty certain that over the weekend at a kids' party, I saw someone wearing a very similar hat. It just wasn't camo.
All right. Well, this is he made this for me while I waited.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
That's great. That's great. You gave him the logo and he just did it for you right there?
No, it's one of his. He just hadn't made it yet. And he said, I wanted a camo one with the red patch. He said, I don't have one. So he sewed it on for me.
Cool. Nice.
There you go.
How you guys doing?
Pretty good. You're
doing pretty well.
100 shows. You believe it? 100 shows.
Hey, man, that's right. I came to party. Got my party shirt. Got laid.
There we go.
You got laid for the occasion. That's right. You got to love
that. Hell of a party shirt. Oh, and he's got himself some whiskey there. Is that Whistle Pig?
Soto.
You got tequila? You got some tequila. What are you drinking?
It is Soto. We've talked about that before.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. Yeah. I knew that definitely wasn't a Whistle Pig bottle there.
It looked like it had the shape, but I'm pretty certain. So there it is. Yes. Chihuahua. So where are you right now? It's always fun to know where Tony is.
I am in Terlingua, or right outside of Terlingua, Texas. Down
Right
the
outside of Terlingua.
bottom tip of the Big Bend. If you come over from El Paso, Texas comes down like this.
Yep.
Then curves back up before it goes down to the Gulf.
The Big Bend.
The Big Bend, I'm in the very bottom of that tip.
Very
About
nice.
12 miles from Mexico right now.
We got some greenery behind you that I'm digging.
Yes, this is I'm out on the porch here at the house. Great view. I should actually let me show you guys.
Yeah, please do.
Take us for a little walk. Now this is that a lemon tree behind you?
That's great. That is
Look,
such
you
a.
can see,
Look
there
at
you go.
that. That is amazing. Now
That's
the
beautiful.
camera's resolved.
Chisos Mountains. That's Big Bend National Park right there. That mountain range.
That's awesome.
And
That's
then
awesome.
He doesn't look like that.
this is
That's
Reed
so much.
Plateau right here.
What's that?
Reed Plateau. This is even older than the Chisos.
Oh wow, that's great.
Look at that.
And look at that. You're right there. You gotta love it. You gotta love
I
it.
got it.
Video, man.
That's a beautiful thing right there. Damn. Whole side opens up, and there you go. Now, you've been making me jealous with the pictures that you put up out there. And you put up this one picture of a sunset. Oh, my God, that thing was beautiful.
Was it a sunset or was it a sunrise?
It's always a good question with you.
Well, this is what. Are you talking about this picture? Because I've kept this picture in the photo array of here. Is it this picture?
No. That's the sun on the mountains. No, it was recent. It was within the last.
That's the mountains we were just looking at.
At right, the ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No, not the one from way back when. There's one from just recently. Let me see if I can find that thing.
Was it on my Instagram?
It was on your Facebook, so it's probably on your Instagram. Right now, I just saw it 4 minutes ago. You put up a picture of literally the best person you know, and you're having ice cream with her.
My daughter.
It's your daughter. Nice.
Yeah.
She should be the best person you know. And if
Absolutely.
that's the case, and you've been doing your job.
And yeah, if she isn't, that's definitely my fault.
Where is it? This is it. Right here. Let me see if my camera can pick this up. I may have to turn this light off so you can see it. This one's not working.
No, it's not working.
It's not working.
Because it's the light. It's the light from your computer and the light from. Oh, you had it close. Get close, real close with it. It might work. There you go. Yeah.
Yes.
That one.
Okay. If you look at that photo and look down, there's a house down there. That's the house I live in.
Is it? So you're up on the plateau?
Yes.
That's amazing.
That
yeah,
is
I can
amazing.
see it. There's two houses. There's a round building and a
That's my neighbor Larry.
nice.
There you go.
But that picture was just amazing.
It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Thanks, man.
Um,
It makes it easy out here, to be honest.
exactly. I got to ask you. We've asked everybody that came on so far. We got to ask you. Of the you've been on 3 shows. This is your 4th. What probably a little easier for you to get it than like maybe say Tom. But what's your favorite log room guys moment that you were involved with, or even if it was just a show you happened to catch and watch? Was it
I'm going to go with last time I was on. It was the first time that we got to do one with me being out here and the internet was so bad.
That's true.
Yeah. And the guy that owns this place, he was here at the time. He was trying to watch it at the same time, watch it live, and that was sucking the bandwidth out. And I had to go, man, you gotta can you just watch it later? And he's like, he didn't understand. And but now we got the fiber Wi-Fi out here now, so hopefully.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so this is perfect.
Yeah, that was fun.
He's kind of watching it live, like for real. Like, why does he?
Right.
Do
he did sneak out at a certain point.
He's like,
He
They're 2 chairs away. You're watching.
was standing behind me, and he was like trying to take a photo of me on the podcast or on the live, and they're like, "Is that who is that?" That's kind of sneaking at you.
Yeah, you got it. It's like he's watching the laptop, and you're over there. He says, Tony, just move over a little bit. I can't quite see on my.
Well, no, that was the thing. Like he was watching, like literally watching me live, and I was like, "Hey, man, can you you're like staring at me. It makes me feel weird. So he went into another room and he was trying to watch on the laptop, and then that cut the already bad Wi-Fi.
I wonder what's
That's
worse is when you're doing a show and you're being watched and you don't expect to be watched, or when you're doing the show like we did at Cloverleaf, the beer dinner, and we're expecting to be watched and no one's paying any attention to us.
Sounds like a lot of kids I play.
Yeah.
They're all eating their dinner, talking amongst themselves, and we're up there doing a show. And I think it started off paying attention to us. And
well, the man who shall not be named was also the mayor, so he was walking around.
He was walking around for a time. He was up with us. He was up. He was up for the one of my favorite moments in the history of the podcast. We'll talk about that later. John knows what it is already. But there was that, but also they couldn't hear anything out in the audience.
No, because everybody was like, because they couldn't hear us,
didn't have a PA.
They started talking,
and then
and then some people were starting to listen to us, or still trying to listen to us, so everybody else was talking higher, and it just got louder and louder and louder in the room. So. Then some people actually pulled out their phones and put ear pods in to listen to us, but they sitting right there.
But they gave up because of the delay.
Right. Yeah.
Because it never matches.
Nope.
Because we tried that in Italy because not Fabio, and I always forget the other guy's name. He was only the host. We only stayed with him for a week.
Oh yeah. What was his name?
Wish Carrie was listening. She always remembers his name.
Knows,
but he was trying to
Barney. It was Barney.
Yeah, we'll go with Barney, the Italian guy named Barney. He's wearing a purple shirt.
Exactly.
But he was trying to listen. He was trying to listen on his phone via Facebook, but with the delay, he couldn't really pay attention to what was going on. So we actually wound up turning it off. But it worked. It worked out pretty well, though.
It did work out. It did work out pretty good. Tony, really quick, the three top threes that you were involved in were, the first one was unconventional craft beer destinations, and then there were favorite Colorado breweries and favorite Texas breweries. Of those three, what was your favorite top three list?
My favorite top three?
Yeah. Of those three.
Yeah.
Probably the Colorado one, because the Texas one, man, no matter what I said, I was getting into trouble. The unconventional ones, I mean, like, I was kind of holding back. I don't want to give everybody all my secrets, you know.
Yeah.
But the Colorado one was fun because I've gotten, we've all had a lot of experience up there, and it's been cool. I've gotten some in recent trips getting to know some fun new things instead of just the same old standbys.
Now, here's the thing: if you have not watched one of the episodes with Tony on, couple of things you first need to know is Tony is one of the OG craft beer aficionados in Texas.
That just means I'm old.
We're going to go with the OG because
because if you're old, that means David.
We're old.
Oh yeah, you guys.
Yeah, we're old.
You guys are old.
Shut up. Anyways, but if you go back,
up, kid.
Yeah, hey, get off my lawn. But if you go back to our November 2nd show. In 21, when Tony was on and we did the Colorado breweries, you need to watch that because Tony tells a story about a bus trip up there.
Oh yeah,
which is absolutely hilarious. It's one of the funniest stories told on the show. You need to watch that one. But Tony's had some experiences, and he lives that kind of life where you know that most of his amazing experiences just happen to him, and they happen to him because he just does and goes. Right? It's just like, yeah, why not? Yeah.
Why not?
You know, since the last time I saw you guys, I actually went and have you heard of a band called Shiny Ribs from Texas?
No, but I love that name.
There was a band called the Gourds many moons ago, and the Gourds, Shiny Ribs is one of the guys that was in that band. He's kind of taken on a whole new life form. And anyway, good friends of mine for many years, and he asked me. I was trying to manifest a trip to Colorado to get out of here. You know, here in the deep desert, it gets pretty hot first couple months of summer. And I'm like, dude, I got to go to Colorado. I got to get out of here. And like 2 days later, he sent me a message and said, hey, are you available for any of these tour dates to come shoot photos? And I said, I'll take all of them. You know, like, yeah, I'll meet you guys in Santa Fe. And so we did this run, and they had a tour bus and everything. And the bus kept breaking down. And the bus driver and I swapped stories. And he's like, oh, you know what you're doing. I'm like, well, I mean, I'm not a pro, but yeah, I know my way around a bus. So the whole trip, I'm doing roadie work. I'm doing the photos photos and video that I went to shoot, and then I'm working on the bus with the bus driver the entire way. And they're just like, man, like, what are you doing? I'm like, man, you drive a bus. That's what they do. They break down. So same towns, Pagosa, and
Pagosa.
we used to go through Pagosa Brewing, get to stop by there, get some Rough House, and
Pagosa. That's at the bottom of Wolf Creek Pass, is it not?
yes. And Wolf Creek Pass was always the pass that took us. It literally took us over 2 hours to drive that bus up and over because it was so bad.
You've heard the C.W. McCall song, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's how I know. That's the only reason I know about Pagosa was that song. But the other thing, speaking of songs, also you got to look up Velvet Hammer.
Absolutely.
And we still got a handful of those vinyls for sale.
Oh boy!
You know what? I gotta get one of them. I gotta
get one of those. I have to make myself a note. So you have a website for that?
Just probably the easiest way is just send me a message on Instagram and I can send you a link.
There we go.
That'll work.
Do it that way.
I do have a website. I haven't put all the links on it yet. I don't know. It seems weird to have a page that just
I know someone that helps with website design and construction.
Who's
yeah.
that?
Yeah, he might be on the screen right above you.
Oh, that guy?
That guy. you might want to talk to him if you're having a little.
What can't he do?
We haven't figured that out yet.
Hey,
I can't run a marathon. I can't run. I know I can't run a marathon. I know that because I've run a bunch of 10-mile runs, and the last mile I'm done. So that's 10 miles. I can't go another 16.2. So
we also know that he can't control his motions during a Giants game.
That's probably about 9.5 more miles than I'm willing to run, so that's fine.
Same.
Yeah.
Have you ever done the beer mile?
I've done a couple of beer miles. Yeah.
Rough.
No.
Yeah.
It's worse when they make you shotgun the beer.
No, that I can't do.
Drinking,
They shotgun the beer, everyone. But
see, my brother's a marathon runner, so he's got the stickers, the whatever 30 whatever point whatever. And I mock him. I got a sticker that's 0.0.
0.0. Well, that's
And then there's 0.1 because I walk down to the.
You walked into the kitchen.
To the liquor store.
Oh, that too. There you go.
Hey, what are you guys drinking?
I am drinking a Root and Branch Eyes Without a Face IPA. But before that, I had this beer, Tony. I had this delicious Building Sandcastles from Coastal Brewworks.
Very nice.
Notice the logo on that kind of matches the chest of Matt Patensky.
Yeah, I like that.
There you go.
That is their beer. And it was their first beer. And so far, you've got to put out 4 beers. They're all fantastic, but that's still my favorite.
Yeah.
Still absolutely my favorite.
You guys see all the flies? It's so good to be outside, but wow.
I'm drinking.
You got a lot of flies out there. Hey, well, you know what? That's part of being outside, right? Yeah.
So I went. Yeah, Matt Patent, what do you got there?
What are you drinking there?
Real Ale Brewing Company, Crispy Business.
Crispy Business.
That's a great name.
Who's the
Crispy
U-boat
Business.
commander?
There you go. Crispy Business.
Liking that.
Did you slide across your kitchen in sock to the fridge
And underwear.
Yeah.
Well,
Look
I
at this
do
beer.
I do that a lot, so yes.
I went high octane for my second beer. I got the 24th anniversary.
Second, that's your third beer.
Are you drinking that out of the
Second.
bottle?
Yeah, he's shotgun the bottle before he just
Nah, I'm drinking it out of my sterling silver beer mug.
Oh, well, it is the 100th
going-
show.
It is.
I'm going fast.
I will be opening my third beer shortly. I'm going to bring it out right now, so it's out of the cold. One of my favorite Belgians, right there.
That is
Oh yes,
That's a solid one.
straight up.
So,
I got this one on deck. We don't get a lot of really good beers out here, so I have to import all my things.
There you go. That's a damn good
But-
beer.
Hey, this is I'm really happy. Even out in the middle of nowhere, that I can get fresher Sierra Nevada than I can get local Texas beer that gets delivered out here.
Now,
that's great.
A couple of weekends ago, what was it, about 4 weekends ago? I was down at Sierra Nevada's space in Asheville, North Carolina.
Well, it was in just south of Asheville.
Well, it's south of Asheville, but everyone considers it Asheville.
Mhm.
It's right on the river
area.
and they had to have put at least about $1 billion into this thing. It is in this. it's a compound. It's not a building. It is a compound. It's basically, I heard someone refer to it as Hop Disney World, and that's pretty accurate. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Just as you drive in, you can just tell from the drive in, the road that you've got to take in, and how they've landscaped that road, that immediately they've put a lot of money into the place. And the food there is amazing, and there's beers that you can only get there. So it was a lot of fun, well worth it. We were there on Carrie's birthday, and we jumped onto Tom's show that day.
Yes, you did.
Friday, it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. So, Matt, really quick, I just wanted to point out one thing to you. One special skill that Alacran has to his huge portfolio of special skills, mind you, is he can shotgun a beer without the use of anything other than his own hands to shotgun the beer.
I can open it.
He can open, yeah, that's what I mean. You don't need your hands to shotgun a beer yet, but he can open it, like just take the can and open it with his bare hands.
You want to see?
Shotgun it. I think he does want to see. It's a 100th anniversary.
No, I mean, you want to see?
Party.
I'll see. Hang on. I gotta get a different beer.
There you go. You can't do it.
I'm
without
trying to shotgun an IPA right now.
No. This will be good. So I took this out earlier to make sure that my third beer is nice and warmed up. I've got a bone saw stout out in the light. So
I've got to cook. I'm cooking dinner for some friends. I just came back from the land of plenty. I was up in North Texas and stocked up on some really good meat and things like that. So after we get down here, a couple of friends are coming over. So I'm gonna cook dinner. So I'm not shotgunning an IPA tonight.
No, I don't want to do that. You don't do that.
Anyway, here, let me skip back so I don't get it on my laptop.
Is that a Shiner?
That is a Hans Pils from Real Ale.
Oh, nice.
That works.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, absolutely. Watch.
All right. So just making sure you know it's real, you know. Wait, let's go this way. There you can see it.
And there it goes.
All right. Well, it is your anniversary, so.
There you go.
That's a beautiful thing.
There you go.
The obligatory.
And yeah, exactly. There's not, you can't just get a beer without the obligatory burp. Yeah, absolutely.
Holy shit.
Oof.
It was way too cold, you said?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, giving birth to an alien baby.
Brain freeze.
Yeah. Has anybody else shotgun a beer on the 100th show?
No.
We have not done so.
I'm
No.
not.
Love it.
I haven't shotgun a beer, and it's probably been at least before the pandemic was probably the last time I shotgunned a beer.
Do you know why we do that so much here in Texas?
What's that?
So it doesn't get warm?
So it doesn't get too warm.
Yeah. You drink the whole beer while it's cold. You don't drink more beer. You just drink more at once so you can enjoy the whole thing while it's cold.
Exactly. So, all right.
I need to get a knife to get into my third beer because there's wax on it.
Well, while you do that, I will thank Tony for coming on.
I will thank Tony too.
I don't know if that can
Can
help.
you hand that over?
Yeah, give it. Yeah, Matt. Give that to Dave. Yeah. Imagine if that would be really cool if we were able to figure out a way that. Never mind. But in any event, Tony, listen. Exactly. Thank you so much for coming on for 15 minutes and potentially it's been almost 18 minutes now, but coming on for the show, really appreciate it. Definitely wanted to get you on for this. Listen, you haven't been on in a while, so we gotta. I'll
get you back on.
I'll shoot you a message. Let's book a show soon that we can get on and catch up with everything, not just these quick, 15, 18 minutes with our 100th episode.
Now that I'm not buffering anymore.
And now you're not buffering anymore. So yeah, exactly. Because we did do a good hour and 45-minute show, but there was probably only about 50 minutes of content.
Right.
That's probably accurate.
So in any event, I will reach out to you. We'll put a show within the next month. We'll get something together and get a show going with just you on it. But again, thank you so much for coming on. Definitely a highlight of our guests over the last 100 shows. We definitely want to get you on today. So thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Always good to see you.
Good to see you too. Always good to see you. Thank you. And I'm happy you're Wi-Fiing now. So
Salute.
salute.
Salute, Alacron.
Chindan. Prost. There you go.
Sante.
There you go.
See you next time.
Cheers. You got it, Tony. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Oh, this smells yummy.
You got
You're
it.
supposed to fade me out.
It's like, why am I
I could have
still
done
on?
it, I would have done it. So there you go.
All right, adios.
Adios.
Nos vemos.
Nice amigo.
All right. All right. So that leaves one. Who might that be?
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. Somebody's
Well,
gonna have to figure it out.
There's a few people before we bring on our last guest.
But their name was only said twice, so you guys didn't F that
We
up.
didn't do it yet.
We haven't it up yet. But before we bring him on, before we say the name, magical third time to throw out the pentacle and summon him from the depths of hell. We should give nods to some of the other guests that we've had on more than once here. Right? There's been a few we've had on.
Sure. Let's give a couple nods. Chuck Aaron.
Chuck Aaron. Now, John and I had to go back and forth. It's like he's only been on the show once, but he's been on the show twice.
He's been on the show twice because he was on at the Coastal Brew Works launch party at Cloverleaf.
Yes, he was. He helped with a shtick that I started the show off with him and his lovely wife, and they did a fantastic job.
It was awesome.
Yes,
and then your brother Brian.
Brother, not only has he been on the show twice, but I've done the show twice from his place. Both times completely froze up because apparently the room I was doing it for is like apparently the opposite corner of the house from the router.
The Wi-Fi router. Wait, isn't that a bitch though? NASA can communicate.
Oh, you're stealing Alcatulos.
4.5 billion. Efren did it today. Yeah. Al did it before that.
Yeah,
4.5 billion miles away, but you can lose Wi-Fi in a living room, right? Yeah. So
yeah. So we're stealing memes now.
Exactly. It works though.
Stealing memes live.
Brian Cichon was on as well, and I think that was it. I think those are the only other ones that have been on multiple times.
Is that it? I thought there was
one
more.
So. Was there one more? Let's take a quick look at the list while we're waiting for our next guest. No. We did have one other. You are right. We did have one.
I thought we did.
Two others.
Two
others. We did have two others on the show. I'm just double checking to see if there wasn't three. Yep, two others. We did have two others on the show, and that would be Mr. Brian was only on once.
Oh, we on the one time.
With you.
Oh yes, we just last week's show. Duh.
What's that?
Last week's show was a second time on the show.
What was last week's show?
Brian.
Then it is three. So Brian Boak's been on the show twice. So thanks. Cheers to Brian Boak.
And we had another person who hosted one of the shows. That'd be Ryan.
True. That's true. That's
so
four.
There's four.
Ryan, right? Yeah, there you go.
Ryan Dorchek of the Cloverleaf.
Ryan Dorchek of the Cloverleaf. So cheers to Ryan. Al Gattulo has been on two shows.
Yes, he has.
And he would have actually been on tonight had he not been in an Al Di Meola concert tonight in Red Bank.
Al Di Meola is playing tonight?
In Red Bank, yes.
Oh,
so,
had I known that, I may not have been on the show tonight.
and of course, we would be remiss if we didn't say Mr. Rick Reed has been on the show twice too. So
Mr. Rick Reed has been on twice. One of the godfathers of Jersey Brew.
This is very true.
And one of my favorite pictures I ever took at 381 Main was Rick Reed and Brian Boak together.
With who?
With whom? I'm going to correct your grammar there.
With whom?
That would be with a certain guy wearing a Coastal Brew Works shirt that does not have the wave on it.
I was going to say, you should have just said with Hume. With whom? With Hume.
With Hume.
There you go. That was a good picture, actually. So
yes.
Just need to check on one thing here and see what's going on.
I'll say one thing. This bone saw Imperial Stout, barrel aged Imperial Stout. This thing is yummy. Okay, so I'm following up I didn't do them justice because I am following up Firestone's 24th anniversary beer with this beer. And so I'm thinking, well, it's probably not fair to them because it's not going to be at that level. But my God, this thing is. Oh, and it's not a stout; it's a barley wine.
See, now I'm upset that you were opening it without me there. So.
This is a barley wine aged in wine barrels.
Do I have smell of it?
No, it's
Can
not.
I smell this?
Oh, this thing's lovely. It's got the barrel. The barrel and the beer have conspired to make some nice chocolate notes out of it. That's why I was confusing. I think it was a stout, but no, this is straight up a barley wine. And I'm going to probably fall asleep by the end of the damn show.
There you go. Well, it's not like that's unprecedented.
As I say, which will be the second time. Well,
while we're waiting for our next guest,
Matt, there's Belgian specialty malts in this, according to the bottle.
Belgian specialty malts. There you
go. There's a malt complexity. This behemoth was then aged for 14 months in Templeton rye whiskey barrels.
Yeah. Nice. Templeton rye whiskey is pretty damn good. So.
It is. I gotta say that. And this, when they call it a monster, they're not kidding.
No.
Because this one, I saw the ABV there a minute ago.
Yep.
It's up over 15%.
There you go.
Ouch.
Exactly.
Yeah, there it is. 15.3.
15.3.
And I'm drinking the whole damn thing. I don't
enjoy.
I
did want to put this up really quick. I saw this meme just I saw this the other day. I'm sure both of you actually did. I forget who put it up. It's probably Al. But in any event, I did like this meme. This is pretty good. Just the facial expression you'll see when I put it up. I love it. Here you go. There you go.
Oh yes. Love that. I hit that.
That's great.
So people who are only listening to the podcast, it is a Gallagher meme.
Yes.
We're gonna, and there is a very voluptuous looking watermelon.
Yes, let's put it this way: it's a watermelon at the top, and it's a voluptuous looking watermelon because it's misshapen. They might have put a belt around it when it was growing or whatever, but it actually looks like a posterior.
Posterior.
I said posterior.
You said posterior.
I said posterior. You heard?
You're thinking your prostate exam that's due.
No. Posterior. It looks like a voluptuous posterior, and it's Gallagher. Just a look on his face, and it says, "I'd hit that." So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty. It was pretty funny. I had to put that up anyway.
He's looking like
this thing on.
He's looking at that thing like Sam Gamgee looks at some taters.
There you go. Exactly.
That is like such a nerdy reference right there. Sorry. But everyone on the show got it.
You watching The Rings of Power, Dave?
I am so aggravated, upset, and pissed off that they are not following the story that Professor Tolkien put out there. I don't give a crap about all the garbage that's going on. They're talking about people are pissed off because there's a black elf, there's a black dwarf, there's a black hobbit. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is they have made up their own damn story, completely outside and against what Tolkien wrote. And it's like, I'm sorry, I'm done with you. No, you had an opportunity here to resurrect the Silmarillion or a portion of the Lord of the Rings.
Right.
And as one of my friends put it, well, it's pretty. It's kind of like when we talk about like a brew pub where the beer's not that good and we say, well, the food's really good. I mean, the beer's not good.
Or she's got a great personality.
Yeah, a great personality. That's what's going on with this right now. Is I can't with it. It's
really,
yeah.
That's disappointing.
I was so yes, it is disappointing. It's very disappointing. I was looking so forward to the show.
A hobbit hole with this one though.
You took us right down the hobbit hole. You had no idea you have no idea the question you asked me. You have no idea after I got done watching the first 2 episodes how I stormed around the apartment just pissed off, railing as to everything they'd fucked up. I was not happy.
Gotcha.
Still not happy. So thanks for reopening that wound.
There you go.
It's good. This way it can fester. That's good. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, there you go. It's not good to let things boil up inside. You need to let them out.
We got to reopen a wound every now and then.
Exactly.
If it's not healing properly, and it wasn't healing properly.
Of course. I did want to point one thing out to you. When Tony came on before, he had just got with his new fiber optic internet connection that he got, obviously out in Terlingua. He was able to. He bought a new Mac, right? Okay. So he was using a Mac laptop, obviously, because he carried us outside with it, right? Yes. But he was using a new Mac, and he. Okay, no, it's I'll read that later. To you anyway. And he, but when he wanted to launch it on a Mac, for some reason, StreamYard, the service we use, does not work with Safari. So on a Mac, you need to load Chrome. Now you could use it on any. You can use it on any browser on a PC. You could use it on any. You could use it on any phone. You could use it on any.
I'm on a Mac right now.
On Safari?
Firefox.
On Firefox, yeah. Chrome or Firefox, it doesn't work with Safari. It doesn't work with Safari.
Yeah, that's because Safari's crap.
Right. Yeah. So he had to download, before he came on, that's why there's a little delay, and Tom was on a little longer. He had to download Chrome and install it, and then come on the show, right? So our next guest, who shall remain nameless for another couple minutes, is doing the same thing. He's downloading Chrome on his Mac.
Tell him to do Firefox.
Well, whatever. He's probably almost done with it now. You can tell him when he comes.
That's not great. Firefox is more stable.
Well, to be quite honest with you, since we started the show 100 episodes ago, I've been using Chrome on my iMac. So.
How stable is our next guest?
But I got to be honest. Well, that's true.
It kind of matches,
right? But I have to be honest. I only go on the show on Chrome. I never use Chrome for anything else. So
really,
yes, Firefox.
Well, I'm Microsoft, so I use Chrome for everything.
There you go.
So
fair enough.
I'm on Chrome.
There you go. And on my PC over here, on my Lenovo laptop, I use Chrome too. That one I use Chrome on, but I use Safari, I use Firefox, and I use most of the time I use Firefox. Safari, I have a couple of things bookmarked, so I go to it when I have those particular things like bills and everything to because I don't feel like redoing them on Firefox. I just go to them, pay them, and it's done. But Chrome I only use for StreamYard. That's it.
And then you remember the tagline for Internet Explorer for a while: the #1 browser for downloading Chrome. Accurate.
Very accurate. Very accurate. Actually, for a while before Chrome, it was the #1 browser for downloading Firefox.
Yes.
So Brian, who's our other producer, who's clearly not listening to the show, unless he is. Hold on.
No. Tony. This is called stretching.
Hold on, Tony. We have a guest coming on who's downloading Chrome in order to get on the show, so we have to.
We're killing time.
We're killing time in between.
But he's right. We should be talking beer. Have you opened your third beer, John?
I was going to wait for our third guest to get on, but I'm just going to open it straight away.
Just open it. Screw
Tony, this is our 100th show. Thank you for commenting in. How is everything going, Tony? And we got to get you back on soon too. So yes. How's everything going, Tony? Let us know, and we'll comment back in, and we'll put it back right up on it. You'll help us stretch the time before he comes on. So
that'd be nice.
There you go.
Solid.
There you go. My third beer is one of my favorite Belgians of all time, right there. Trappist Road Crude 10. I'm going to pour this lovely, lovely beer.
And the thing about this beer is, and you've heard me say it many times, it takes me a very long time to actually take the first sip because I just like to keep my nose in that thing.
Oh yeah, there are certain beers, and this is one of them. There's certain beers that, I mean, if I order them out with other people, most everybody else has finished drinking their beer before I even take my first sip.
Yep.
Because I just want to keep my nose in the damn glass, and I'm going to do that right now.
So good.
So good. So good. Ridiculously, insanely good. So there you go. So let me pour it here and then take the obligatory photo while we wait.
So, Matt, did you finish your whiskey?
I did. So that's it for me.
What's up for you? Two drinks and you're done?
I got to get going pretty soon. So
I gotcha. Tony said, congrats to you guys. I just got back from Belgium. Tony, tell us how that was.
Yes. So we'll to hear from him if we don't get.
All right. Well, while we wait for Tony to tell us how Belgium was, all right, I think Dave and I and Matt should all say this at the same time. 1, 2, 3.
Fuck you. No.
No.
What?
The name we need to say the third time.
Oh, is he ready to come on?
He's ready to come on.
Oh, okay.
3, 2, 1.
Augie
Carton. There you go.
There he is.
There he is.
That was quite the fiasco trying to log in here. Sorry, boys. I've done this before, so I thought it would work, and it just fucking didn't.
You've done this multiple times before.
I know, but so I guess I either scrubbed this computer at some point or bought a new computer. So I had to log into Facebook, which has 2-factor authentication because of the business.
Right. Yep.
So I had to figure all that out. Then I got on through Safari, and then it's like, but SteamYard doesn't work with Safari. So then I had to go do it all again with Google. So here I am, but that's my delay. I apologize. May have helped out.
Please do not. We're happy to have you. And what you're wearing, what I came to know as the official uniform of Rhode Island, that red and black plaid there. Everyone in Rhode Island wears that. It's ridiculous.
It has a name, and I don't know.
It does. And it kills me that I can't remember it. When I lived in Rhode Island, I remembered it, and I left Rhode Island, and everything disappeared.
And you just forgot about everything you even knew up there. That's all it was.
I don't know if you guys will remember, but for a couple months, a couple of years ago, we were all trapped in our houses.
I remember that.
That's when I was in Rhode Island. Yeah.
There you go. So
this podcast was born out of that.
It was.
A neighbor and very good friend of mine, Lee, really embraced his work from home lifestyle and basically wore a flannel in this pattern and grew a brewer's beard for the whole, however long lockdown was for him. Let's say anywhere from 9 to 18 months. I don't really know. But every time I saw him, he had a beer for me. You know, we'd meet in the yard at the beginning, and then sooner or later we came back in the house, but he was in the same funnel, whatever. So the next Christmas, all of our little group of friends who were hanging out for all that time gave each other various forms of this plaid as like a joke about Lee's one going outside of the house shirt.
Right.
So this is a Henley version of it. I have about 13 versions of this plaid.
It is referred to as buffalo plaid.
I was going to say there's no buttons down there. It had to be a Henley version of it. Yeah, definitely.
Right. Buffalo plaid. But I have it in a snap shirt. I have it in a Western shirt. I have it in a proper flannel with button-down collars. Everybody thought of the same joke. Everybody gave everybody buffalo plaid stuff.
You got it as a union suit.
I do. Well, not a union suit, a fart bag, one that zips up the front, not with no back flap. But I have it as a. I know. I have it as what we call a fart bag around the carton house.
There you go. That's great.
There we go.
Anyway.
That is so self-explanatory.
So what are we celebrating here? Which episode is this for you guys?
The 100th episode of the show.
Wow.
100th.
And you guys do weekly, so that's about 2 years.
Just in 2 weeks we're gonna do in 2 shows we're gonna do our second anniversary show. So,
we're doing a lot of celebrating.
Does that mean you're ahead of schedule or behind?
We're a little behind.
2 years would be 54.
4
right?
weeks. Yeah, we took 2 weeks.
It would be 100.
We took 2 vacation weeks last year in 2021 and 2022. We took 2 vacation weeks, so we're 2 weeks behind. So
I'm very proud to say that Steal This Beer. I think we're in our 8th year. We have never not released a new episode on Monday.
Wow.
I don't know how we get it done. It's not always all 4 of us, but
how has John not killed you yet?
Well, we now do it from far away. He can't really.
I say, I'm sure this attempt's been made, and you've just thwarted him.
It's John Hall and I have one of my most, and I have a life of unique relationships. But John Hall and I, he was actually in my brewery the other night without telling me.
And you weren't there?
I wasn't there. He came by with some writers he had in from out of town, and just brought them to the brewery, and no warning to me at all. And then it's like, hey, by the way, I'm at your brewery. I was like, what? Fuck. So
I go.
When was the last time you actually? When was the last time you were actually in his company?
He and I went up and did our last anniversary episode at Industrial Arts together.
Good. which was
I want to say, I think it's in April.
okay. So where I was going
and
with
I
that,
did. What's up?
I was going to say where I was going with that was Matt and I had dinner with him in Minneapolis at CBC in May. So we've actually seen him more recently than you have.
I think that's right. But that's probably better for everybody. When John Hall and I travel together, and I mean, I'm not a good influence on anybody, and not many people are good influences on me. But
that's
John,
except for Matt.
John Hall is a very bad influence on me. He and I get in so much trouble together.
And does he say the same thing about you to his wife?
I don't know that he so I think he takes a lot more heat just so that April won't get mad at me.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I don't know. It's not like we don't get in trouble without each other, but when we're together, we drink like cowboys that have been out on the range for too long. You know what I mean? He and I like end up with bottles between us for hours.
Do you two wind up in a tent together then?
As far as you know. Oh.
In matching buffalo plaid.
Buffalo plaid, right?
Union suits. Got to have the flag.
Have I ever shown you? Have I ever shown you guys the picture that comes up when John Hall calls me?
No, I don't think you have.
We want to?
Actually, I do want to see this.
It's pretty awesome.
Let's see.
Oh yeah,
I love that picture. I love that picture.
That's great.
Did you use that picture on the podcast for a while?
So for a long time it was my backdrop on things like this. When Zoom was new and I was pressing buttons and figuring before I got totally like, oh, Zoom.
Yeah.
But back when I was like, what does this thing do? And I found out you could like fake green screen and drop. I had that picture behind me. That's for great. all of my meetings.
That's great.
He's always looking over your shoulder, Augie.
Yeah.
So what's going on, boys? What else has happened since the last time we talked? A couple of you opened a brewery.
A couple of us did.
How's that going?
Not me.
Going good.
Slowly but steadily.
Slowly, but slow and steady wins the race, right? So,
are you guys enjoying this season where everybody calls up and asks for free shit, even though you've never met them?
Pretty much.
Isn't that great?
We've been.
Hey, it's October. We're going to do a Oktoberfest golf outing for our fraternity. Can you give us free beer?
Please give us 6 free half barrels.
What? Yeah, this is a very annoying time of year for small breweries.
There you go. So
excellent marketing opportunities at every corner.
Exactly. We got a couple fests we're doing coming up. We're being at the Down Beach Seafood Festival with John Henderson this weekend. So
I don't know what that is.
It's the it's a seafood festival. They have a best brews of New Jersey tent. There's 15 breweries. We're one of them. So
am I there?
You are not there.
Okay.
You are not.
Oh, then it's inappropriately named.
I'm sure he invited you, and somebody said you couldn't.
I don't want to out you guys if this is a secret or not, but did they charge a fee?
No.
No. Then I might have done it, but we don't do any with fees. So there's an entire 99% of those things that just are not on our radar.
Yeah, no, they didn't.
Cool.
So we're good.
If he's buying the beer, that's good. You should do those because that's what we need.
And you know what? And you know what? Even if the fees are small, we're doing them right now anyway because we want to get the name out there. We want to get the branding out there. So do what we got to do. I mean, you did it the first couple of years too. I mean, no. I remember the very first.
I did it once. I did it once and never did it again.
I remember the very first AC Beer Fest. I remember 14 of us walking out of the hall on Friday night and somebody getting a limo for us to go over to Vagabond.
Probably me.
That was you.
Yeah, I would do that. But yeah, so I did. That was the only fest I ever paid to do, and then realized I definitely didn't ever have to do that again. And it's a big thing. They call us every year, and they're like, "Please do the fest. It's important." I'm like, guys, I think it's criminal that you charge small breweries to draw people to your concert event.
Fair enough.
That is fair. So what are you drinking, Augie? It looks
like what are you drinking? Yeah.
Is that a whip?
Whip. So, oh my God, you guys have caught me. I'm glad you guys are rolling on a high of your whatever, but you guys have caught me. I don't think I've spoken to either of you in a while. So I am training for the first 2 weeks of October. I'm doing the Trans-Pyrenees ride, which is where you ride from the Atlantic coast of France to the Mediterranean coast of France through the Pyrenees Mountains and backpack every night. You camp every night.
Very cool.
Wow,
So-
you're
Very
going,
nice.
wow, you're going through
Yeah,
Liechtenstein?
I,
Oh no, Andorra. You're going through Andorra?
no,
or not?
I'm in Spain as much as I'm in France, but I'm never not climbing or going down a mountain and
Because Andorra is
carrying
right between them, right there.
and carrying everything on the bike. So I am. That is now 3 weeks away. So this is the last hard week of training. So I've ridden about 420 miles on my bike in the last 7 days.
Wow.
Wow.
Plus, my kid made the varsity crew team, so he's practicing 2.5 hours a day after school. So I pick him up at 7:30.
Jeez.
So as much as I wanted to jump on with you guys and enjoy a beer, a nice, tasty 12-ounce crispy 5%er made the most sense because I would have
Of course
fallen
it did.
asleep on you. Of course, had I opened a dub, I'd have been like,
We've had that moment on the show already.
No, yeah, we
"Have
talked
I
about
fallen
it about
asleep
4
on you
times.
guys?"
No,
I
Dave has.
did.
Dave
I
has.
did.
Oh, okay. Were you drinking dub? Got to be
Oh,
careful
we
with
were
dub. dude.
drinking. We were drinking
We're
about
drinking
4
a
beers
lot.
each and a lot of bourbon afterwards.
It was like
So,
4 beers and a triple whiskey.
See,
Yeah.
bourbon wakes me up. I think bourbon's got more sugar in it than people admit to. When I drink bourbon, I get spicy. But when I drink
Spicy-er.
ODub, I tend to go to sleep right before I start making the bad choices I used to make when I didn't fall asleep when I
That's a
drank
good
ODub.
thing.
You've
How's
never
that?
made bad choices, Augie.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of them.
A lifetime of talking my way out of bad choices.
And I'm not. Not
So what else is going on? How's tell me good stories.
Oh geez. Well, I mean, the brewery wise, I actually have one of these before. You still got to drink some of these beers. That's the Building Steakhouse. Is the
Hey, get the man some of these
5%.
beers from when he
We-
gets
oh,
back
that
from,
night-
from
It's
Europe.
not like you guys don't come by my brewery.
and it's not like we don't
I
live
get a
like
call from
15 minutes.
Patensky.
It's not
I get
like
a
both
call
of us
from
don't live
Patensky.
20 minutes away from you. So
But I get a call from Patensky quite regularly that he's leaving the brewery. I'm like, you could have
you
told
could
me
call
when
me
you showed up,
before you got there.
and I would have had a chance.
Yeah, I get
But
to the
yeah,
brewery
so-
often, and I don't tell Augie I was there until after I'm
Till after. It's
gone.
probably
If
safer.
I even tell him, sometimes the only reason he knows I was at the brewery is the untapped check-ins.
the
There you
check-ins. I'm like, oh, somebody got some boat.
Yeah. We just released a hef a week and a half ago.
Nice. Not why not an Oktoberfest, Matt? I know you wanted to make it Oktoberfest.
Well,
When
we're
you
just-
guys gonna have-
Did a Vienna lager earlier in the summer.
Okay.
So I feel like the Vienna lager and the October, Fest beer and Marzen are a little too close to each other.
Plus we're just doing the flagships now. So we just chose now to release the hef because of the season it is and everything else. So, but
If you let people put an orange in it, they'll drink it.
No, yeah, right.
Now, Augie, you just brought up the best of all time boat. You
Best
know,
of all time.
I'm currently at 710.
Hey, that's an acronym.
It was always meant
Is
to
that
be an
right?
acronym, right? It's always meant to be an acronym, right, Augie?
As far, I mean, whatever. There's 7,000
Sure.
boat stories. There's 7,000 boat stories, and they're all true.
But I'm at
Do you not
700
remember? So, what's funny about that, Dave, is do you not remember? So when Untapped was new,
Mhm.
I was on Untapped before there was a Carton Brewing,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah,
there,
Untapped is what, 9 months older than Carton, I believe, right?
I think that's right.
Not much.
But I was a devout user of Untapped before there was Carton Brewing. So when Untapped came out, when Carton came out, I was checking into my beers at events because one, I was super excited, and two, back then I still thought it was it was a social site. It wasn't a rating site yet. I was just trying to let people know where I was and what I was drinking. And I drank everybody else's beers. As soon after their original, like I gave all my beers 5 stars because that's why I made them. I thought they were fucking perfect.
Sure.
But otherwise, I only rated beers I thought were 5 stars because I thought it was shitty for another brewer to do any less. So, if you check my stuff like Orval and Sierra Nevada have 5-star ratings, and everything else just has no rating because, it's not my place to be discerning on your art. You know what I mean? You want to talk to me, Matt, you know it. Come in, sit down with me, beer. I'll tell you everything I fucking think like that. But you don't need me broadcasting that shit. So I never did that. But because I was super excited about those first 10 or 12 beers, especially Boat, and give it 5 stars. When I would check into it to let people know where I was, people thought I was trying to artificially inflate the rating. You know what I mean? So forever I was the most checked in guy on boat, and I'm sure I'm still the biggest drinker of boat.
You are not.
You are not.
A drinker, yes, not checked
but
in.
I
Drinker of vote, yes.
in,
Checked in and vote, no.
But I stopped checking in when it became the rating site.
You're still number 4 on the list.
Yeah, still, and I haven't checked in a boat in 5 years. Think about that.
He hasn't checked in a boat in 5 years, and he's still number 4 on the list.
Yeah, I did a meeting with a restaurant that wants to work on a beer together Monday at noon. I gave them 16, you guys know how we do it, the little glasses, half full, just tasters. I gave them 16 tasters each, and I had 6 boats. It's just
Do you know
it's what I drink.
But the reason, so for a while there, I'm not the number 1 drinker of boat now.
Who is?
Dan Hoover caught me and passed.
I don't know who. Do I know Dan Hoover?
I don't know if you do, but he has been chasing me for the longest time.
Do I know Dan?
And he caught me when I went to Rhode Island. That was his opportunity to catch me.
Oh, that's you guys should be better about taking care of.
Yeah, but I got you boat when you were in Rhode Island.
But not enough to keep me up there. So I got to catch up to him and repass him, take it over. But the only reason I became number 1 is because Augie told me he could not be the number 1 drinker of his beer.
I got to get out of it. Yeah, it worked. I'm number 4 now.
And you're number 4. And you know who number 3 is?
Nope.
Someone we both know and love.
Who's that?
Lou T.
Oh,
Lou Testa?
that's awesome. I haven't seen him in. I haven't seen him in like 8 years.
I haven't seen him. Well,
he
got married and fell off the face of the craft.
And
I
from what
used to
hear-
see him like
and
I used to
from
see him
what I
like
hear, he's
every
got a baby.
Thursday night.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, I think Castorella told me he's got a baby.
He does.
Oh well, we've all experienced to some extent how that will shorten your days.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah. Shorten, absolutely lengthen them and shorten them at the same time.
Although for when we canned Trojan Seahorse, I had my baby, my youngest, helping me can and drinking beer with me while we were canning it. So that's my baby's
fun.
22 now, almost. So.
Have I told you guys? Have I told you guys about Finn catching cancer of the irony?
No.
My 15-year-old son, whom I adore, who's been sipping beer since he was born, well on the way to being formulated and raised to take over for me, got diagnosed with celiac 2.5 years ago.
No.
So he's fine. He's fine. He's the toughest kid in the world, and in no way impacts his life. He actually is a good cook, and he's been cooking for himself, and it's no way bad. But literally, my son can't drink beer.
Ugh.
That is irony. You're correct.
That is irony.
That's irony.
Brutal irony.
The good news is I'm brewing a gluten-free with Kubliak with Departed Souls in a couple weeks to do a proper gluten-free. Which I probably shouldn't say publicly that I'm brewing, so my 16-year-old beer can taste beer again. That's what I'm doing.
You know what? If it's in your house under your
exactly.
It's not illegal. It's not illegal.
Yeah. Well, I don't care if it's legal.
If you give him a case and send him off with his friends, that's another story.
But the kid when he was 13 could identify hops.
That's awesome.
And now
He's your kid, of course he could.
I was like, damn it.
He was probably born that way.
Well, Jonathan looked at me, and Bob went in and got, because we had a little bit of a downtime with Trojan Seahorse canning. The check valve on the canning line was shot, and they actually weren't brewing that day, so they went and got the check valve off of the brew house and switched it so we could continue to can. But it was going to be an hour downtime, so Bob went in and got a couple of pours of pills, Italian pills they had on. So he came out and handed me and Jonathan one, and we're sitting there, we toast, blah blah blah, we're drinking. And he takes a sip of it. He says, "Dad," I'm like, "What?" He goes, "It's 10:30 in the morning. We're drinking beer. Is that normal?" I'm like,
in the industry, yes, it is.
Like
late start.
Somebody's got a QC. Yeah, late start, right?
I am. I'm brewing with our friends at the Seed tomorrow.
Oh, love those guys.
Cool. I expect I will be 8 beers in by 10 o'clock tomorrow.
Nice. Matt, I'm assuming Matt and I will see them on Saturday late afternoon.
Are they going to that event?
Well, yeah. Well, it's till 5 o'clock, the event. No, we're not going to the one in Human Robot. No, we're not going to that.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that either.
Yeah, no.
I know they love Human Robot. I don't know the Human Robot guys, but those guys are huge fans of them. Every time I talk to them, they talk about it.
Oh, I love their beer.
Yeah, they're really.
So, I guess I'll end up with them at some point soon because people I love. I usually love the people I love's love. But
Okay, have I showed you my water glass?
no, what do you got? Yeah, it's one of the few left.
It's
I'm
water
down
glass.
to 2 of those. I'm down to 2 of those now.
I'm down to none of those, and I'll give you 3 guesses why. But we'll leave that alone.
You never got one.
They were for my birthday, right?
That
They were
was,
for
that was
my
your 40th birthday.
40th
at
birthday.
Fest Hall,
Wow.
which I was. Where was
We
I?
were filling those with boat.
You were filling them.
So that's
couldn't
got to
make-
be 3 check-ins, right?
But if you remember, I couldn't make it there that day. You reserved one of
Okay.
these for me when I showed up 2 days later.
Right.
Where
Yeah,
was
Fest
I?
Hall
I was traveling for work, so I couldn't make it.
There you go. That's always the
That was some fucking birthday. Man.
Oh my god! I am so upset that I missed that one.
I remember all we did was eat we were eating sausages off of boards with knives. Nobody had a fork or spoon. It was just like steak.
cut it and
sauce.
stick it and eat it. Yeah, that's it.
And that glass full of boat beers.
You gotta love it.
And
Gotta love it.
We were shambles.
Good time.
Shambles.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. So you got me for 2 more minutes. What else do we need to talk about before this beer's gone and I got to go put the kids to bed?
Yeah. What's coming up for Carton?
Well, I'm brewing an NJIPA with the Seed Kids in the morning. Super psyched about that. And then, we're doing what we're doing. We did. We're bringing back an old classic that the 2 of you may be the last people to remember, but not like Sierra Nevada trying to do like that. What's his name? The quarterback retiring every year.
Brett Favre.
Yeah, whatever his name is.
Brett Favre, and then now Brady, right?
Brady, that's what I mean. The guy with the funny lip. So I've been, I don't know if we've talked about it, but there's a new hop out there that's got me newly excited. It's called Trident. It's a blend hop from Hopsteiner, and it's the first hop that's kind of, grabbed me where it counts.
Say that again, because it's like
Trident from Hopstein.
Trident is a hop blend from a hop blended pellet from
Because
Hopsteiner.
when he said it, his internet skipped briefly.
Sorry.
I
But all
heard.
right, so it's the first thing in a while to really like Citra 15 years ago. Trident's like, oh, this is exactly what you fucking love. You know what I mean? So I've been fucking around with it a lot, and I've been putting it with different combinations and different yeasts, and I think we'll end up on a new beer after I'm done. But it's just been fun to be like, how does it go with Simcoe? How does it go with Citra? How does it go with Mosaic? How does it go with Nelson? All those other ones I love.
Right.
And we put out a poll of, which of these do you like? What's going on one of the social medias? Our guy Maddie handled that. But somehow that turned into everybody wrote under it other beers they wish we'd do again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's not like I ever say, oh, I'm not making it again or it's retired. It's just we've got so much fucking going on. There's only so many things.
Of course.
Yeah. It just gets pushed aside for something different.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people this summer wrote about Red Rye. So Friday we're releasing Red Rye Returning.
Are you?
Yep.
Oh, I'm smelling
tomorrow.
Matt, what are you doing Friday night? I got to.
Yeah, I've got. Ooh.
I'm going to be up in New York, unfortunately.
Well, you're not going to be up there all night, are you?
Hey, John, I'll meet you at the brewery Friday night.
All right, Friday night.
But
Yeah,
I'll try.
Hey, Augie.
Yeah.
John and I might be at your brewery on Friday night.
There you go.
I'll try. So tomorrow I'm at the Seed all day. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I have to ride 80 miles, 50 miles, 80 miles. And then Saturday.
I love how Friday's only 50.
Friday,
That's
50.
good. There you go.
And then Saturday night, I'm going up to Plan B to watch Mr. Evan Watson sing songs and drink barn beers. So,
Nice.
That's not a bad.
So we'll see if I can stand on Friday, but if I can, I'll definitely come have a couple beers with you guys.
Please do.
All right, I'm going to let that be my good night to you. I love you guys. Thanks for asking me to come on. Congratulations on 100.
Thank you so
very
much for showing up. Always
We will definitely bring
phenomenal
you
to see
some
you.
beer soon, too.
Yeah,
What's
if we
up,
come
Matt?
on
I'm sorry to
Friday,
hear.
I said we will definitely bring you some beer soon, too.
That's right. Drop them on Friday.
And
we'll come up on Friday. Yeah, we'll do it on Friday.
bring the boy a hat with a better logo on it.
Living the New York Yankees?
Well, Matt's fine with the Yankee hat. Dave and I would prefer the Mets hat,
But
why? But you know me.
you don't care.
I wear this because of Jay-Z, not because of sports.
And he's gone.
And he's gone. As quick as he shows up, he's out.
Guys, I hate to say it, but I'm gonna do the same. I already overstayed my welcome, but
You never
No,
overstay your
you're
welcome,
always
you know
you just
that.
overstay your
Yeah.
welcome. You've overstayed the time that you wanted to be here.
yeah, I did. By
Your welcome is longer than Dave and I were
by
going to
a
be on.
fair bit, I overstayed, but I got to run, so I got some
Go
stuff.
do your thing, and we will talk to you later, but I'll talk to you later. So.
And Matt, if I haven't said before, thanks for filling in for me when I can't make the show.
No problem.
You got it.
All right.
So,
Sure. And I've moved to that bourbon.
there you go.
I'm still
Oh,
drinking.
I wasn't supposed to show this glass until you got yours, John. Sorry.
It's all right. It's all right. Nobody knows what it is, so leave it alone.
Are they on order?
I ordered them already. Yeah.
Good job.
Matt.
See you, Matt.
As much.
You
All right.
got it.
See you guys a bit for the next 100 too. So
Yeah, you go.
Yeah. And
Or in a week or two, whatever
Yeah.
comes first.
And
so
you're part of it, Matt.
night.
Ciao.
Good night.
All right.
Woof.
Oofa. All right. Good show tonight. I mean,
Yeah.
let's try and finish this up before 2 hours, so we can be out before 2 hours. We're at 1 hour and 51 minutes right now. So,
let's push it to 2.
oh, well, no, we'll push it to 2, but be out at 2 is my point. Yeah.
Yeah, but because we've got a few.
Who was laughing? Was that?
Oh no, that would be Carrie's son over there, and he usually on Tuesdays he tries to be as quiet as he can, but every now and then something gets the better of
Up
him.
through. It's fine. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And it's just, and the thing is, there's a wall and a door and all that between us. It's just this, as you know, with the fire engines that we hear every now and then, this mic picks up everything.
Of course. Of
So.
course. It does. Good mic. It's a good mic.
Yeah.
In any event,
It would be a good John if that was its name.
it would be a good Barney too, if that was his name.
If it was purple.
if it was purple, right? Funny story about Barney. I will tell you really quick. My daughter Marina, when she was 1.5 years, she's going to kill me if she watches this episode. So,
I love these stories.
when she was 1.5 years old, she loved Barney. Loved Barney.
I love
Barney
you.
was Barney. You love me. We're a happy
dysfunctional
family.
family.
Right.
It's not dysfunctional family.
Dysfunctional, one of them, yeah. Anyway, so I'm on the fire department. We're doing our Christmas holiday drive through town on the fire trucks with Santa and the elves and everything else, right? But we also have other characters. We decided that year to get all of the Barney characters.
Oh boy.
Okay, so
you get the big sun and
I was Barney.
You
on the
were
fire
Barney.
truck. Barney on the
Oh
fire
no,
truck.
the big son's from something else. Never mind.
Yeah, I was Barney. The all the other characters on Barney were there. It was all the characters of Barney and Santa and some elves.
There were
a lot of us.
There
Right?
were other characters.
There were other characters of Barney.
I
Absolutely.
never watched it.
But I was Barney anyway. So now my daughter Marina. Okay, she's 1.5 years old. She's going to be 29 in January. So this is a while ago. Okay,
Yeah, just a week or two.
a little while, a minute or two.
Yeah.
She was 1.5 years then, and just not quite 2. And she's with my mother at my mother's house in town, and we're going around on a truck. So we stop the trucks in front of the house, right? I get off the fire truck and I walk up to the door and I walk up, "Hi, Marina, how are you?" You know, and she did not stop crying for 5 minutes while I was standing there.
You scared the hell out of her.
I scared the hell out of her. I scared my own daughter. So I got back in the truck and that
Congratulations, you monster.
Exactly. There you go.
Nice.
There you go.
Oh, so wow. So let's see. We had one of our producers, but Matt's more than a producer. He's a fill-in host.
Fill-in host.
He's your brew partner.
He's my business partner, business partner in the brewery, right?
And to both of us, a longtime friend.
Of course.
Longtime friend. So having Matt on and having him on through the whole thing was just it was necessary.
It was cool. It was good. I'm glad he stayed on. I'm glad he stayed on and not just came on as one of the guests. So that was good.
And then having Tom on.
Oh.
So Tom, I've known Tom for a very long time. Never met face to face. This is a Facebook thing. We've there are a bunch of Facebook groups out there that Tom and I are both on, and him and I have been through
a lot of shit.
Trials and tribulations. A lot of them, most of them his, some of them mine.
Right.
But we've known each other through a lot of stuff, and to see Tom where he is now is fantastic. To see his shows going on and his enjoyment and love of beer and whiskey. and the way he portrays it, matches it,
You know,
talks about it.
I agree with you. And on that note, really quick, not that I don't want you to continue down this road that we're going with the guests we had tonight, but I go on with Tom on Friday nights when I'm sitting having a bourbon or whatever, and you do too. We need to do that together. We need to coordinate something where we can both jump on.
This is never the same time. Never,
right,
ever.
right.
But watching him do the show, because there was a time where he came close to stopping.
Yeah.
Something, and we're not going to get into it, but something tragic happened in his life. He was going to stop. And one of these days, I keep trying to get this guy Stu on the show. Stu, Tom, and I were like the core group of this one page. And I just sent from my so Stu does this. It's not a podcast, but I think it's a Facebook page called the Ginge Real Ale Trail. So if you know,
Ginge Real Ale, yeah.
So he lives in England, and Real Ale. So if you know about Camera, and now the new King of England, once the Prince, heir apparent, real adherent. Adherent's not the right word. A champion of Real Ale in England. So he was a
Prince is a champion of Real Ale.
Huh?
Stu is a champion of Real Ale.
And Stu is as well. So when I was in Asheville, I was at Green Man, and there was a shirt there, and it was their red ale, and it said there was something on it. I forgot what it was, but I looked at the shirt and said, Stu needs this shirt. So I sent him a picture of it. He replies back, he goes, "Oh my God, I need this shirt." So it's on its way there now. So hopefully one of these days we'll have a picture of Stu wearing that shirt. But Stu and Tom and myself, we've known each other for quite a while. I would love to get Stu on the show. It's just the timing would be like midnight for him.
As it is for John Lord from Lord's Brewing,
right?
That always wants to come on, but it's going to be midnight or later.
So what we got to do is, one of these. So for 2 weeks, John and I may have to do something like on a weekend, earlier in the day. So if the audience will indulge us,
or we can have a separate show just for
we're not talking about the weekly podcast, but something separate to get them on during the weekend when it's a little earlier in the week, as long as they don't have anything, because usually Stu's out on the trail eating some amazing things,
and he can
drinking,
and he can go on his phone from there
and show us what's going on. So we got to have them on. So but that we were talking about Tom. Then after Tom, we had when Tom and I talk about Tom, the next person that comes to mind is always Tony.
Of course,
right? Because Tony is Texas Tom.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Basically. And Tony, you look at if you're friends on Tony on Facebook, you become quite jealous of his life. And knowing what I know of Tony and talking to Tony about other things as well, he'd be like, "Please don't be jealous of my life." Because like Tom, he's been through some stuff.
Sure. But and he would probably look right back at you and say he's jealous of your life. So
yes.
Yeah.
But when you look at what he portrays out there, and he puts out that brave face, and you just get all these amazing stories. And my God, just the photos he puts up. And he's done some amazing things in his life. So if you get a chance, definitely watch the shows with Tom, because they're insane. Watch the shows with Tony, because some of the stories that you're going to hear of what he's done in his beer travels, they're just so much fun. So much fun. He's kind of like this cowboy gypsy, right? And just this free life that he lives, probably does. We all want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. No, agreed.
And look at the comment first before we go on to I talk about our last guest.
Absolutely. Our probably, I'm going to go out on a limb and say our final comment of this show.
Probably.
All right. Is from Mr. James Healy. Congrats on 100 show, gents. Many more. James is my and Matt's business partner in Coastal Road.
And Jim, you need to change your profile picture. You don't.
No, he's never going to change his profile picture. You know why?
To remind him?
No, that profile picture was taken by me in my house that burned down. So that
Okay.
that window and beam behind him doesn't exist anymore. So
And because Jim is not as full of face as he was in that picture.
no, not at all. No. He's
No.
much more.
Oh,
much
Jim
more
looks
thin
so
a
good.
face.
Yeah,
Much better. Much
so
better.
good. So good. Jim, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Or should I say broski?
Bros.
Or brocephus, as I say sometimes.
Proceed. You've known Jim how long?
I have known Jim since I was in second grade and he was in kindergarten.
So we're looking at over 40, almost 45 years.
Over 45 years ago.
Over
I was in
45
second.
Yeah, over 45 years.
Closer to 50, close over 40, between 45 and 50 years ago.
Yeah, in there.
Yeah.
So great guy, heart of gold, that man.
Absolutely.
So
Give you a shirt of his back, even if he doesn't even know you.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And so our last guest tonight was Augie Carton.
Augie.
First,
Well, we can say it a couple times now because he was already on the show. So we're safe now. So
we're safe
good.
now. He was our first guest.
Very first guest.
So John and I talked a while and went back and forth. And it didn't take, well, it wasn't a while. Because John and I started talking about who should be our first guest. It really only took less than a minute for us to agree.
30 seconds.
Yeah, it should.
Or less.
It should be Augie. There's a few reasons for that. One, John and I have both known Augie since Carton Brewing's existed. You may have known him before that, did you not? Or
just before.
Just before. I knew him just after they opened. As a matter of fact, my first tour of Carton Brewing was given by Augie.
By Augie.
And it was funny because the whole taproom staff was like, "You're going to do the tour?" And I had the senpai and the duck with me, and that's a whole other story. Yeah. People know who the senpai is because we mentioned him before. That's my friend Leon. The ducks, I don't think it's ever been mentioned on the show. That's a whole other story for maybe another time or maybe never. But we've known him for a very long time. But not only that, knowing that he's had a very successful podcast for many years. John spoke to him for a little bit about our podcast. So he gave us some pretty good advice to begin with. The show has developed from advice from other people and tips from other people, but it was only natural because of the friendship that we have with him and his early support of us that he'd be our first guest.
Absolutely.
So it was just wonderful to see him on the show. I did not see that man as much as I would like.
Yeah, I live 20 minutes from him, and I don't see him as much as I
do. When it's one of those things that if you've got a bond with Augie, that bond is always something special, weird, and dangerous.
You got to be prepared if you're going to have an Augie encounter.
Always be prepared. So hopefully this Friday,
Boy Scout motto:
be prepared.
Be prepared.
And that's the reason my brother couldn't make the show tonight. He's actually with the Boy Scouts planting seedlings.
Well, there you go.
So anyway, that's why he wasn't on the show tonight. Eventually, after everything, hopefully Friday you and I will toss one back with him.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that on Friday night. That's a plan. We'll definitely do that.
We got to get that down.
I'm going to read. I just want to read through, and I'm not going to double up names because they're obviously we've talked about the fact that other than the guests that we just talked about and that were on tonight, there's been 6 other people that were multiple guests on the show, and that was Chuck Aaron, Brian Cichon, Dave's brother, Brian Boak,
Ryan Dorchek,
Al Gattulo, and Rick Reed. So other than but including them, I'm going to read through the list. I just want to read through it. There you go. Augie Carton, obviously from Carton Brewing, Chuck Aaron from Jersey Girl Brewing, Matt Patensky, obviously he's been you know who he is, if you will. Sean Lapolito from Lobster Room is our 4th guest, actually.
Sean was. We'll get to this, but we've had so many great moments, and Sean was when we realized that the best content that we have on the show is typically when a guest is a couple beers in, because at the beginning of that show we were like, Sean's a bit dry. But once Sean was 2 beers in, Sean opened up, and Sean turned into one of our favorite guests, and oft quoted on the show as well. As a matter of fact,
Yeah. Yes.
from that show.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
There you go. After that, we had Kyle Machad from 12 Guns Brewing.
Now you got it. So a lot of these that John's going to mention in this, probably the next like 12 or so.
There's only one more in another 5, but
There's a couple. Well, Rhode Island or so
Right.
is when I was in Rhode Island, and that's quite fallen off. But we got to get some more Rhode Island.
we gotta go back to Rhode Island. Yeah.
Okay.
We should take a weekend up there. We should all
We
go up.
really need to.
We do.
It's going to be next year because we got a weekend coming up in October where we need to be out in Montauk.
We do.
You've got that penned in, right?
Yep. Yeah, we got that.
Okay, because that's solid for Carrie and I. We're definitely going out there. You and Jess need to come out.
We got to do that. Yeah. Rick Reed from Cricket Hill, Jason Goldstein from Icarus. I'm going to breeze through some of these. Tom Mulvihill, obviously. Greg Taylor from Source. Nicole Pelletier from Cricket Current Brewing in
Rhode Island. Yes.
Yeah. I'm not going to double up because this is the first double up.
Don't double up.
I'm not going to double up. Sergio Mutuela from Melovino Meadery.
We got to get Serge back on as well. Only not because of the meadery, but he's got some other endeavors going on.
He's got a restaurant. We got to talk about that. Yep.
Oh, Torino's fantastic. If you haven't been, John, you need to go.
I got to get there. I haven't been there yet. I got to go. Jesse Ferguson.
Jesse.
Interborough.
And that was the first. That's when the legend of saying Augie's name 3 times
came on. Exactly.
He just took over the show for a whole half hour.
Those of you who don't know, Augie was texting me once we were on the show with Jesse, saying he forgot Jesse was on tonight. He was on Facebook and he heard his voice and realized, oh, that's right, Jesse's on tonight. Send me the link. And we had said Augie just 3 times. Right then, Augie popped up. Yep. And Jesse and Dave did not know Augie was coming on. I sent them the link. So
whereas Tom is our Alec Baldwin, Augie is our Beetlejuice.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. John Hall, Ryan Dorchak.
John Hall was a great show.
Absolutely. Which one? We got to get him back on too. Matt and I talked about that we were having dinner with him out in Minneapolis at CBC back in May. I mean, it's September already. We got to get him back on.
Yeah, you get him back on.
Yeah. It's been a year and a half since he's been on, so it's
because we have never ever on this show had a guest snarkier than I am.
Oh no,
except for John Hall. Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, John Hall just blows me away with snarkiness.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let me read through these. So we'll be here all night going through all of
yes,
this. So Ryan Dorchak, Alex Constantino with Brian Woodward from Old Heights Brewing, Matt Ziegler from Zigmeister, Gretchen Schmidhausler.
Gretchen.
I got it.
Call out right now. Gretchen just brewed her first IPA.
Yep, she did.
For a Little Dog. Now, I'm sure this is not her first IPA. Please don't ever.
First IPA for Little Dog.
Get it
straight. Yeah.
Yes, because I'm sure she's done so many, many times. The first ever female head brewer in New Jersey.
Yep.
And it's one of those things where you say something like that and it almost diminishes her accomplishments because her accomplishments should not be gender related.
No.
Her accomplishments are her accomplishments.
Sure.
And she is one of the greatest and most experienced German style brewers in the state.
I'm glad you said that because that leads me to what I'm about to say. Out in Minneapolis also at CBC this year, Matt and I were speaking with her at Fulton Brewing during a John Hall podcast, or I should say after a John Hall podcast. And at Fulton Brewing, and we were talking about some styles that we're going to brew at the brewery once we open, some smaller batch styles and stuff.
I know this story.
And we were talking about, we'll brew in this, blah, 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 blah. And I said we're going to brew a shtick all because obviously those of you that watch the show often know that
John's favorite, one of his favorite
styles is
his top one of his in his top 5.
5 is shtick all, yeah, absolutely. So I said we're going to brew a shtick all. She said no. I said what? She said no. You're not brewing a shtick all. Without me there too. So absolutely, Gretchen, you will be there that day. Done. It's a collab. Plan on it.
And you know what, John, when that happens,
you'll be there too.
Let me know because I haven't seen Gretchen in a while.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how much I respect her. And
absolutely.
Yeah, I need to get there.
Absolutely. Scott Wells from Bolero.
That was the Chihuahuas stole the show.
John Kapanik, who was hungover on the show and didn't drink. from Spellbound Brewing.
Yes.
PJ Wendell was on the show. Brian and Matt came on as I'm only saying Matt again because it was with Brian, the producer's show we did.
Yes.
John Henderson from AC Beer Fest.
So the whole thing about the producer show was, we don't have a guest. What do we do? Let's bring the two idiots on.
Done. Bring them on. Let's go.
And they're not idiots.
They're not idiots at all.
They're not idiots. It's a term of endearment.
Of course. PJ Wendell was on. John Henderson from AC Beer Fest. Mike Kivovitz from NJ Beer.
Oh, Kivovitz and I have a love and contention.
Of course.
As everyone does.
Yeah.
Mike.
And
Mike, wait a second. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago was his birthday?
Yesterday. Happy
birthday, Mike.
Happy birthday, Mike Kivovitz.
We know you're not listening because you got so much other shit going on. Cheers to you, you jerk. No, he's not a jerk.
He's not a jerk. And he will tell you that out of everybody he knows in New Jersey craft beer, the person he's known the longest
is himself.
No. Well, yeah.
Yeah. You.
Me. There you go. Anyway, Al Gattulo, Joe Granat, and Kyle Park, both from the Chamonix Creek.
Oh,
Joe Granat, because we bust Joe's chops on a regular basis on the show.
Joe does not like beer.
Joe actually loves beer. He just gets frustrated with beer.
He gets frustrated. Right now, his jam in beer right now is Modelo.
Yeah.
And we make fun of him incessantly about it. Now, not that Modelo is a bad beer, but...
Oh, I got to be honest with you. Modelo Negra.
Oh, that's one of my favorites. That's my favorite beer.
It's really a great beer.
It's a fantastic beer. It's one of the top. If I go to a Mexican restaurant and they don't have Negra on tap, I'm drinking tequila.
Sure. Jeff Gattens and Anthony Minervino from Four City Brewing we had on.
That was, and the best part about that is the person who agreed to be on the show of the three owners of Four City is the one who didn't make the show.
Exactly. I'll breeze through a bunch of these only because we really got to speed it up a little bit. Pat Fondelier from Alewife Brewing, formerly of Smutty.
And the weird thing about that was he was out in his yard.
He was out in the yard on the phone the whole podcast. It was pretty interesting, but he was.
It was weird.
Steve Nancaro from Let's Talk Craft.
And without Steve Nancaro, we do not get Tony Drury.
This is true.
Yeah.
Or Rick Alley, who's the next guest.
No, Rick.
Rick, you met. That's right.
I met when I was out in Plano for business.
Plano.
And stopped in and talked to him and drank with him. And Rick, he's just an amazing force in the Texas brew world.
And I said, and it's Taps and Caps that he has is the store. And I remember to this day, it was a year and a half ago, we had him on the show, but I remember that I had a Freudian slip and I said Taps and Craps.
It's a good. That
was great. There you go. Chris Lewis from Oyster Creek Brewing. Tony Drury was on the show. Justin Harm and Brandon Forms from Liquid Runner. Matt and Jim Barbieri from Two Ton.
I love the Barbieri brothers.
Absolutely.
Gotta love them.
John Kleinchester from Two Roads Brewing. He is now not with Two Roads anymore. He is with Carton Brewing, John.
Whoa. Back that.
He is the general sales manager for Carton Brewing now, John Kleinchester.
When the hell did this happen?
About 2 months ago.
So that's why he wasn't there when we were just there last weekend.
That is correct. He is the general sales manager for Carton Brewing right now, John Kleinchester. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Interesting.
See how things move in New Jersey?
Everything's circular.
There you go. It's a circle. It's a big circle.
It's a big circle.
There you go. Scott Monroe from West Passage. That was a show and a half. Tony talking about buffering.
No. The worst technical show we ever had.
Scott Monroe.
Was that show. His connection was ass.
If I wrote things down and held pippers up, it would have been better. But
yes,
he was a good guest. It was just a technology.
And it's one of those. It was the last. I think it was the last brewery we had from Rhode Island on the show.
That was the last brewery. That's the last time we had a Rhode Island brewery on the
show. If you watch the show, do not hold that against the brewery.
Yeah,
the beer and the food there is really, really
phenomenal.
Good.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, you got to get.
Yeah. Brian Boak obviously was on.
Brian Boak. Oh, that was the guy who peed into a bottle.
There you go. Nick Bonadies and Zach Page from Bellflower Brewing up in Portland.
Loved having them on because when I went to their brewery, I was so palate destroyed, but I managed to bring something with me because I knew this. I knew it.
Excuse me. Jay Bolin from Brewery Sylvaticus.
Get to Sylvaticus, John. Please.
I gotta go. I'm gonna go up at some point this fall. I'm gonna go up. I get the hiccups now. So
when you get there, you're not going to want to leave.
Pretty much.
Trust me. You will drink their friggin' German lager all night long and their Schwartz beer.
There you go. Tim said Jay Bolin. Tim Pewitt. Excuse me, from Wet Ticket Brewing. I get fucking hiccups now.
You want me to start reading? Oh no, I closed the friggin' link.
He closed it. I'll just finish it. Here we go. Let me breeze through these. Dave Felt from Remarkable Liquids. Lindsay Bohansky from Allagash. Chris Kuzme from Fifth Hammer. Paul Maraca from Paradox. Tony Forder from L Street. He commented in tonight.
Yes, you did. And the highlight of that particular show was him reading the poem.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? I shouldn't do that because I shouldn't mention that because we've got something coming on right after this that may appear.
This is true.
Anyway, go ahead.
Christian Weber from Common Roots Brewing. Leah Goldberg from Mechanical Brewing.
Pint size
Leah. There you go. Darren Wilhite from Nobo Brewing. Joe DeCalso from Brick City. Efren Hidalgo. That's the most recent.
That's right. That was the last Rhode Island.
Efren was a great guest.
We have to have Efren on. Efren has one of the most twisted sense of humor.
Absolutely.
Why him and I get along so well.
Absolutely. Providence Brewing.
I'm out of beer, goddammit.
I'm almost done anyway. So, Josh Schaefer from Finkel and Garfout in Colorado.
And that was the first time on the show that I ordered something while the show was going.
During the show, right? Exactly.
Not the last time, but the first time.
Joe Davids from Descendants. Debbie Serta from Jester King Brewing, who works with Pink Boot Society.
That was a special show, and It wasn't until I started reading Tara Nuren's book until I understood how special the show that was. Because the contacts that she has, the people that she knows, the people she's talked about are so important in the world of women in brewing. And it's something that a lot of people don't understand is that brewing in the ancient times up through so many periods of history were the most important individuals in brewing. And John, did you get your book yet?
I did not yet.
You need to get that because when you go that, you'll be as ashamed as far as the lack of female guests we've had on the show.
Well, but I agree with you 100%. We gotta correct that. Let me finish reading here. Jeff Greco and Greg Florence from Heavy Reel. John Starodomsky,
man,
guru himself.
Another OG, which means stands for old guy.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently. We've learned on the show today. It stands for old guy. But yes, we need to get John back.
We got to do that. Steve Bauer from Ghost Talk Brewing. Nick Jorlee from Last Wave. Doug Phillips from Wild Air. And of course, Fresh.
But I'm so upset I missed that show.
You got it. Yeah, exactly.
Fabio.
By the way, Paolo. That was who.
Paolo and Fabio.
There you go. From Urban Farmhouse and Dave's Airbnb host. There you go. Alex Peterman and Jason Soller from Strong Rope Brewing. Chris Weisner, formerly of Hot Rods. Now
Weisner. I know that guy.
Weisner.
No, it's Weisner. It's Weisner.
Kidding. Robert Tarves from Our Town Brewing out in Lancaster.
I still need to get up to Lancaster.
There you go. You got to get out there.
It's got to go on the list.
Fred Mattery from Sunken Silo.
I'm gonna grab another beer. Oh, Sunken Silo's got such good.
We're almost done. Don't go.
No, I'm grabbing another beer.
We're just about done because these are repeats. Anthony Jenkins from Arbiter Brewing and the Black Brewers Podcast out in Minneapolis.
I missed that one as well, did I not?
Yes, you did.
Damn it.
Tara Nuren, beer writer extraordinaire.
a great show. One of the most erudite beer writers on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Her
Exactly.
understanding of the history of beer is unsurpassed.
Right.
Reminds me, we still need to get Linkus on the show because the history of New Jersey beer.
Yes, yeah, we do. We need to get him on the show.
Anyway,
and which we'll call it. Then Greg Zaccardi from High Point Brewing.
They just released their Oktoberfest. Get up there, grab that.
Yep. And 2 weeks ago, Larry Goldstein, Spider Bite Brewing.
Larry is such an amazing man. He gave us a great recommendation for a place to eat, this German restaurant. Carrie and I had so much freaking fun there, drinking German beer. People walking around with accordions, singing, people dancing.
You gotta love it.
We did not expect that of a restaurant.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, out on Long Island.
There you go.
I'm sorry, Long Island.
Long Island. There you go.
Long Island.
All right. So here we go. Let's wrap the show up because we're at 2:20 already.
Well, and we have our top threes. Don't we?
Our top three list tonight. This damn hiccups is really friggin' annoying me.
I'm laughing.
Sorry. No, you're right.
I'm laughing at your pain.
There you go. Our top three tonight is top three. The locker room guys.
Do you want to know what my fourth beer is?
Not so much, but go ahead.
You do. Yes, you do.
Cortan Line's gotta love it. It's a great beer.
It is. This is probably my second favorite Coastal Brewworks beer.
Thank you very much. I very much appreciate it.
Next to Building Sandcastles is really an amazing beer.
Thank you so much.
But this is the Cadillac of Vienna Lagers.
Cadillac of Vienna Lagers. According to Matt.
Okay, so our top three favorite.
Our top three list tonight is
this is the first time I've ever seen us anagrammed.
The Log Room guys. Acronym.
Acronymed. TLRG, huh?
That
That does not roll off the tongue.
The Lager Room guys, TLRG moments.
Drop the T off. Just go with LRG. LRG, because that makes us large.
The LRG moments. There you go.
The large moments.
The large moments. There you go. Okay, what are yours, Dave? Give us yours.
I've got like 6 written down here.
Just give me 3.
I'm giving you 6. Give me 6. One was Sean Lapolito. Sean Lapolito was the first guest that actually gave us a top 3.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And the top 3 he gave us was top 3 craft beer movie moments. And he came and he took from someone from Rhode Island, and we gave it to him because he had to have it, and it was just perfect. Crush It Like Quint. You know, it's a Gansett. It's a Gansett ale. He takes that beer, and back then, these were not these thin cans we have now. These were some serious cans, and he crushes a Gansett on the boat. So there's number 6.
Oh, you're doing 6.
I told you I'm doing 6.
All right, well then speed it up because it's 23.
I know. Wow. It's our year. It's our 100th. It's our
I know.
Forder reading the poem that he wrote this for Papazian's retirement, did he not?
Yes, he did.
And he read the whole poem on the show. It was a thing of beauty. It shows Forder's writing talent. I thought that was an amazing moment. Another moment was Coastal Brewworks launch party at the Cloverleaf.
Mm-hmm.
And I had dreamt up this shtick to open the show up with. And anybody who knows Folgers Coffee, they had this great commercial. We kind of sort of recreated the commercial to open the show with. And Chuck Aaron and his wife were the highlight of that. Where I asked Chuck, so how are you enjoying what you're drinking? He's like, well, this IPA is amazing. As a matter of fact, I'm on my second one. And his wife commented, that's funny. He never has a second IPA at home, which is so keeping with that. So you got to be an OG, an old guy like us to know the commercial, but it was just perfect. They did a great job with that. That was fun. when John Hall was on the show.
Mm-hmm.
We love, as much as we love these guys, we love to make fun of Bolero Snort. And with John Hall referring to Bolero Snort, saying, aren't they a registered dairy by now? That was one of the, I think John and I laughed longer and harder than we did any other moment on the show.
Absolutely.
So there's that one. Before we had any guests, our old format was we would start off video as a teaser, and then we would only do audio for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We quickly realized the error of our ways and went straight up. Let's just do the whole thing video and then just turn it into audio. So as we've said earlier in the show's progressed.
Mm-hmm.
We've done things. We've learned things. We've learned as we've gone. We've changed the format a few times. We've added segments. The top 3 wasn't a segment until
2 shows before we started guests.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was only one. It was only 1 or 2 shows before Augie first came on.
Mm-hmm.
So we stopped doing top 3s. So 2 or 3 maybe. But at any rate, during one of those, while we're doing the audio portion of the podcast, and John and I both so wish this had been a video moment.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do the show from the roof of where I stayed at Rhode Island.
He did.
So John knows where I'm going with this now. He's already figured it out. And at one point, the video portion is over, and we're on the audio portion, and I'm hiding underneath the table because we've got some weather coming in. And during the audio portion, it's nearly a friggin' hurricane tornado force winds, takes the table I'm hiding under and launches it straight off the building.
Mm-hmm.
So wish that was on video. That would have been amazing.
You and I both.
Yeah. But the number one moment for me was really, and part of it has nothing to do with the show. It was just being in Italy and doing the show with Fabio and Paolo. Paolo had set up the stage for us. He knew all about lighting and all that. So he had set up where I was going to broadcast from, and that was perfect. He figured a lot of things out. But I think my favorite moment from that was just every now and then when Fabio would go, very nice.
Very nice. Yes, he did.
And you've heard me say it many times on the show since, where I'll go, very nice. Yeah, I got to channel Fabio every now and then.
Exactly.
The beers that I had there, that show was just so much fun. Those guys, their beer knowledge, and just the fun they have. Just made that for an absolutely amazing show.
Agreed. All right. That's awesome. I'll run them down. Here we go. Somebody's laughing.
Again, something. Carrie's son has found something very amusing to him.
There you go.
This is actually pretty quiet for him.
That's very good. Fair enough. Still got hiccups, by the way. Here we go.
By the way, John.
Ah!
Yeah.
There you go.
That
All
helped?
right. No, not at all.
No. Yeah. Spoonful of peanut butter.
There you go. Yeah.
A spoonful of peanut butter will just really kill him.
I thought you were going to say a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. So.
We're not doing Mary Poppins on the show.
All right. So I'll give you.
You don't want me singing Chim Chimmery.
No. Chimney, chim chimney, chim chim
Yeah,
chimney. All right. I will give you 6. I will run them down really quick.
Oh, you were making fun of me because I had 6.
I'll do it. I'll do 6 because I had 6 listed, and I was going to pick 3 based on yours, but you picked pretty much all of mine. So I'll just run them down. Number 6, the launch event at Cloverleaf. By all means, see the Coastal Brewworks launch event at Cloverleaf.
And the funny thing is, it was the launch event for John and Matt.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had more fun there than John and Matt did.
Probably.
Because
there you go. Number 5 is going to be the John Hall show with the registered dairy comment. That was hilarious. That was hysterical.
It all started with me seeing the gallon of
milk
behind him.
Yeah.
A gallon of milk and go, oh, so you've got a Bolero growler behind you.
Exactly. Number 4 is going to be the audio from the Rhode Island the tornado, the like you said, the table flying off of the roof down to the courtyard, same as yours.
I'm trying to figure out who's lagging, you or me.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, it was the table disappearing.
The table disappearing.
Yeah.
Number 3 is going to be the show in Italy. That was awesome. Made us international, even though John Lord from England does comment in. That show made us international.
And
More on that in a minute.
What I love about that is that, one, I had so much fun being there. And because I was there, I always thought, okay, this is a great show for me because I'm sitting in Italy drinking beer in Italy. But I always love the fact that John still referred to that as one of our greatest shows, that he had as much fun,
Absolutely.
even though he was still in the U.S. as we were having there with Fabio and Paolo.
Exactly. So that's my number 3. My number 2.
That was 4. You're on 4.
No, number 3 was the number 4 was the table flying off the roof.
Yeah.
No, it was my number 3 was the show in Italy. Number 2 is you passing out with Tom.
And I knew that was going to be on your list. It was, and I watched it and I'm like, am I really passed out? No, I'm just resting my eyes.
Yeah. And my number 1 show was the original Coastal Brewworks announcement that me and Matt did from Single Cup Brewing up in Clifton Park, New York, on their way back from Common Roots. And we did announce the launch of Coastal Brewworks back in February this year.
Now they're up in Common Roots, not to talk to the owner of the brewery, but his wife.
His wife, yeah.
Because and how is the equipment coming along?
Coming along very, very well.
Because his wife is the salesperson for the equipment that John and Matt have bought.
Salesperson, owner.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it's coming along. So now you guys just need a place to put the stuff.
You just got to put the stuff there. Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
so they've got it all ordered. It's on its way. They just don't know where to ship it to.
Exactly. All right. This has been an amazing show. It's definitely at this particular moment in time our longest show.
But if you didn't, I fully expected it to be the longest show, considering who I knew was coming on the show.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody, we said 10 to 15 minutes per. It wound up being 20, 25 minutes per. And then the last person we had on, sure.
And then there were 2 other people that we thought we might have on the show who
were not able to come on.
We talked about Chuck Aaron and my brother.
Yep. And Al couldn't come on because of Al DiMeola.
So there's 3 because Al Gattullo was going to see Al DiMeola, and if I had known about Al DiMeola,
you would have still been on the show. You wouldn't have gone.
Yeah, I probably still wouldn't have gone. But because I saw John McLaughlin's final tour, Al DiMeola, John McLaughlin, Paco de Lucia, they did this tour, and one of my days.
Al DiMeola and John McLaughlin from the McLaughlin Group.
No.
Because that would be an interesting show.
That would be an interesting combination in the McLaughlin Group. Yeah, no. John McLaughlin is considered one of the greatest guitarists
Al DiMeola
Britain's ever seen. DiMeola, Paco de Lucia. I can't remember Al DiMeola or Paco de Lucia. One of the 2 of them is from New Jersey, and one of the 2 of them is past. I think DiMeola might be from Jersey, Paco de Lucia's past, but they're all Spanish. They're Spanish guitarists. Al DiMeola being Spanish and having a lot of like Indian raga influences.
Right.
There's an album out there called One Night in San Francisco. The 3 of them, it's a concert they put on, is one of my Desert Island discs.
There you go.
Oh, God, you need to listen to that. That is just an amazing guitar work. You'll never hear anything like it again.
Yep. All right.
Anyway,
again, this was a great show.
I've got more international chocolate to eat.
I have one more sip of my beer, and with it, I'm going to toast to you. Cheers, sir, for 100 shows. Here's
John,
the next 100.
Okay, so one thing I need to say before we leave.
Mm-hmm.
This whole, whatever you want to call it, was John's idea. He had texted me at one point and said, I want to do this, and there's only one person I want to do this with. And I appreciate that. and I jumped on it because I always love talking beer with John. And John and I met. We still don't know where the hell we actually first met.
I'm sure alcohol was involved, which is why we don't know where we first met. But
yeah, we know it's either Cloverleaf or Carton Brewing.
Mm-hmm. I think it was Cloverleaf prior to Carton Brewing, but that's my guess if I had to put money on it.
We bonded over the fact that my leg was in a brace. Your knee was in a brace at the time. We'd both been through some traumatic leg injuries. I still think it was Carton.
Might have been one of the two.
It was one of the two. We don't know when we actually did meet, but we've always enjoyed talking about beer. Both his and my beer journey has been very, very similar, even before we met.
Oh yeah. Remarkably similar.
Remarkably similar. Scarily, eerily.
It's very true.
So, John, thank you for suggesting this. I can't imagine doing this with anyone else.
And as nor can I.
So we've had a lot of fun. We've had some phenomenal guests. We will have more phenomenal guests.
And it will keep going.
And we will bring some of our phenomenal guests back on this show.
And they'll come back on. And on that note, we are actually going to have 2 weeks from tonight. Well, I'm going to say who next week's guest is, but 2 weeks from tonight is going to be our second anniversary show. So
So we'll celebrate again.
We'll celebrate again in another way, but we'll celebrate again. But keep in mind that we are going to, our second anniversary show is actually going to be the day before our second anniversary.
Yes.
The day before our second anniversary is going to be September 27th. Our date of our second anniversary is September 28th. And that is also National Drink Beer Day.
And we will drink some beer.
And we will drink some beer that night. And
right? We should, right?
We should. I think we should. And keep in mind, we will also proclaim that night that the next day, which is National Drink Beer Day, will, for that point ever forward, become International Lager Room Guys Day.
And thank you, Paolo, for making us international.
And Paolo made us international, so because we did the show from Italy. So there you go.
And I had another thought in there. I just lost the damn thing. So we go back and did the 2 years. I've lost it. It's gone.
We'll talk about it next week when Dave remembers.
I may never remember it.
There you go. Anyway, all right. On that note, sir, you are a gentleman and a scholar, and I appreciate everything. You're a scholar, and I will.
No, you can back off both those.
All right.
Well, it depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about Lord of the Rings, I'm a scholar of the
You're
Rings.
a scholar of the Rings. There you go. Anyway.
It's why I won't watch The Rings of Power.
But either way, when it comes to craft beer, you are a gentleman and a scholar, and I will always say that. So cheers to you, too.
Well, that was the other thing I was going to say.
So and he remembered. See, I knew I'd get it out of him.
So John and I did make a commitment. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. We have talked to so many of our guests and said we need to have you on. We have made the commitment that we will get some of those guests back on for a second showing. Because we really, I don't know about you, John, but I'm quite interested to see where they are, where they're going. Since we've talked to them,
there's a bunch of them that I everybody. I want to know everybody, right? But
true. But there's some very specific.
Definitely want to know what's going on. So.
Well, because Efren's moved.
Yep.
He's got some things going on. I'd love to have him back on the show. See how things are going in this new space.
Exactly.
Oof. So, and like you said, we need to get up for, we need to take our ladies up to Rhode Island again.
We got to go to Rhode Island. We got to get up there.
Yeah, we got to get up there and see. A few new breweries have opened up.
This is true.
2 or 3.
Or 4 or 5.
No. They've not been
2 or
as
3
aggressive.
since you've been there. 4 or 5 since I've been there. How's that?
Probably a little bit more since you've been there, but yeah.
Fair enough. But yeah, we will do that, and we will we report on all of that. But we got a lot of stuff coming up. Pay attention. We definitely have a lot of different fun things that we haven't done before coming up too. a lot of live podcast special ones, not just the Tuesday night show, but separate ones like coming out from going out to Montauk.
Montauk, you guys,
Um,
you need to confirm with me that you're going to do it.
We will take care of that, and
We
then
take care of
Rhode
that.
Island and some other stuff too. So you got some fun stuff coming up. So keep pay attention to that.
And I've got one more beer trip coming up this in 2022. So, and the other thing that John and I need to do is, because we both can do this, is when we do our beer trips. Because John, you've got a Pittsburgh trip coming up soon.
2 weeks, 3 weeks,
In 2 weeks.
3 weeks,
So,
2 weeks from Saturday.
because one thing that John and I do is sometimes we don't pay as much attention to the podcast as we should, because we'll be out traveling. We'll be having a good time. We're out there. We need to do more Facebook Lives when we're out there.
Do some Facebook Lives, even separate. We need to do some Facebook Lives.
When I was in Asheville, I really should have done more. Right? I should
We'll
have
have
done
to
at
do
least 3 while I was out there. We got to get more of these down.
Yep.
You know, so that you can see our travels, what we're doing, what we're thinking, who we're meeting. Right?
Absolutely.
So
Great.
I expect to start with your Pittsburgh trip.
I will definitely do something out there.
And I'll carry it on when we do our New Hampshire trip, because there might be a few surprise locations that I throw in while we're out there. We're going out there to meet to spend some time with Carrie's brother, but I know there's going to be one day where we're on our own and we can hit some breweries.
Fair enough. Let's do it.
We might be in Brattleboro.
All right. Well, you have fun with that. I will definitely do that, and we will see you next week. On that note, we will wrap up the show.
Who do we
Our
have?
100th show. That's
Our 100th show.
Our 101st show is a bit of a secret. We will let that out let that cat out of the bag later this week.
And this is now officially the longest show we've ever done.
Way far.
Way past the.
Anyway, we're up the show for today. I want to thank everybody for watching, and those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thanks for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.lageroom.com. That's LAGERROM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Lager Room. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Tuesday night around 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. And we almost did it tonight. We were close.
We're close. And the thing is, and I will say right now, usually it's John's fault. Tonight was mine, because I did not get the alert that I had gotten the link.
Fair enough.
So
anyway,
no, fair enough. It was
It's what
not
it
John.
is.
It was not.
All right.
It's almost always John.
There
It's
you
me.
go. All right. For those of you who just want to listen to video podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcast, and iHeartRadio as well. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will talk to you soon, folks. Take care.
And John just proved that if you hold your breath and don't breathe, you can cure the hiccups, because he did not breathe during that whole thing. Hiccups are
They're gone. There you go. Cheers, folks. Enjoy.
Cheers. And I killed the tan lines.
You killed the tan lines. Always a good beer to do it with.
Such an easy beer to go down.
There you go.
Oh no! Wait a second. There's still more in the can.
There you go. All right.
So, you've hit the out button.
I have. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.